If you could imagine your ideal way of working, what would it look like?
Hello,
Monday.com,
welcome to the stream.
make it your
I'm
reality.
doing more edits
With
from the
Monday.com,
adrenaline.
every business, no matter the industry or size, can simply work better. Monday.com adapts to everyone's
And
needs.
And I'm gonna go say, well,
I'm going to be playing
how's
this
Twitch doing?
podcast in the background.
And then I look
Because
at like
I
the
need
last
something to
year,
edit
and I'm like, oh,
and
Twitch is down in viewership.
Yeah, something you
Should I
can
not be a streamer?
get demonetized.
Well, no, because you could be Kai Cenat. You could be Ebi. For Kai Cenat, he doesn't care that Twitch as a whole is down. But a lot of people are gonna say, oh, you should never be a streamer. Because
So these are all the Canon 60D
Twitch is failing. Twitch is dying.
images.
That's like a dumb reason to do anything, right? You should always do stuff because it fits your
Got some more
personal
pictures from
aesthetic
Adrenaline.
and it fits your core competency. Likewise, like if we pulled
Let's
up
wait
the
for
stats
the
for like
thumbnails to
Rumble or
generate.
something, like let's take like a super small platform. Like I don't think anybody's like really looking at like Africa TV, right? But there's somebody on here that's fucking killing it. It's this guy. Right? So like everything it's always possible. It's always possible. What do you think is the key metric of making shorts work? I think it's a couple of things. Here's what I think is the key metric for making shorts work. Okay? Number one, it's hook. So in the first, this is stuff that I'm not talking from like the perspective of a personal content creator. I'm talking to you as an advertiser. I know a lot about this, right? So the first one is hook. Hook means in the first 1 to 3 seconds, it's literally that fast. Can you get a person emotionally invested in the rest of the video?
So who I'm listening to in the background is Devin Nash. He's a marketer agent guy. Pretty big before the pandemic, and then he kind of took a break. I took a break because content just became weird. It felt, to me, not authentic. So I stopped doing my thing. And then here I am, back in Paintball community, helping out, taking photos, doing my part. Just trying to get more recognition in the sport in Canada because we have such a short season where it's year-round for the Americans. So got to get these games promoted, players excited, both photographers.
Literally gonna go to the end of this cave and it's gonna be insane. Like that's a rehook, right? It's storytelling in such a way that gets a person and reminds a person that they need to continuously watch the video. Here, let's watch some really good shorts. I'll give you
So this one's a little dark, but it's a picture of Greg, I believe the owner of Adrenaline.
I looked through 10,000 coins. Here's what I found. This is not. Sorry, these are not. We need shorts. 161 million views. I'm building a secret room. Okay.
Honestly, sometimes it feels a little weird being a photographer and
Why so quiet?
taking pictures of other people. I don't know. I've always been behind the scenes kind of person. So
Okay.
that's just me.
All right. 1 second. We're 2 seconds in.
I'm building a secret room with $0.
That's really interesting. That's the hook, right? Okay. And then like immediately like having the mom be mad. Right? We can watch like any one of these videos and it's gonna have like an insane hook actually. By the way, the person that's teaching me this, predominantly, it's a dude named Jeremy B. He has a YouTube course that's very, very good. What does $1 get you at Starbucks?
Can I have a drink for $1? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm making a video where
You have to have a hook that like within the first like few seconds like gets a person in. And then in these minute-long ones, there'll be re-engagements. So that's the second start, like second step. And then after the rehooking, you have to look at engaged and consistent storytelling.
Man, these
And
tents
so what
did
is
not
story-
help out
what is
one
storytelling?
bit.
Storytelling is re-arc in shorts, problem or situation into journey.
I hope with the light balances
solution or payoff.
brings up the best, because
Okay.
this
So,
is not.
what's the
That's
story
okay.
here?
There's more light
Can
there.
you get $1 situation? Can you get $1 for? Can you get a Starbucks drink for $1? Holy shit! Right?
This guy,
Now you know the
probably a
situation.
captain or a general,
So notice that she is super like,
some sort of high-ranking guy.
simple in her concept. For this
Great to
video.
talk to.
Everybody
He's
can
getting some bug
understand
spray on.
What does $1 get you a drink at Starbucks?
What drink can I get for $1? None. Hi, can I have a drink for $1?
And now we're in the journey, right? This whole thing's the journey.
Where I'm like getting a bunch of $1 stuff. You can even make something. Like you can invent something. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, that was embarrassing.
Right? And so we're still in the journey.
I really asked when I was recording. Look at my face. I'm red. Like a tomato.
Oh my gosh, so this one subscriber?
This is embarrassing. Hi, thank you. So for $1, I got water.
And there's the payoff, right? Like the payoff's really fast, but you get the payoff. So like you're rewarded for watching the video. But this isn't even the best kind of short, because the absolute best short is a video where your emotional investment or your confusion or your excitement or whatever leads to you watching it again. So like on the reason why this is 59 million views and not like 1 billion views is because it's not 200% complete. Like the concept might be such that like you get it after one watch, but a great short circles you back into the journey and makes you watch it again. So if you have this story arc and you have these 3 concepts, you have an actually amazing short. Basically, that's like how it works.
Do you have a book list? And any tips on getting the infos from books into practice? Especially if one reads a lot of books, read less and implement?
I think people should read more and implement, because the vast majority of time that people used to spend reading books is spent now consuming useless stuff. And one of the tricks I did that kind of finally got me to use like less Twitter and Reddit stuff, I did a practice exercise where I would go back and I'd try to remember the last like 5 Reddit threads that I read, or the last 5 tweets I read, and I couldn't do it. But I noticed that like my retention when I read books was way higher. And also like a book I think is amazing because it's the condensed, concentrated knowledge of a person working on that for like at least a few years. So I feel like books are really underrated right now. Everyone says, oh, you shouldn't read books, you should just go. You should just do stuff. But my counter to that is that books have some of the best information in a world where everything is bite-sized. Everything is like look at what we just talked about. We're just talking about shorts. We're talking about how like people, and I think it's like, it's kind of silly, like even as someone like me that's explaining like the fastest way to grow a YouTube channel in 13 seconds. Like that's useless to you ultimately, right? It's like not really actionable information. It's like those griffluencers guys who go on Twitter and they're like, if you want to build a $15 million agency, all you have to do is step 1, step 2, step 3, and like I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I'll just go build my $15 agency. Thanks, bro. Right? Like books allow you to get into the depth of a subject that nothing else that nothing else does. If I could like say anything, I'd say like take all the time you possibly can out of consuming like useless content and consuming like Twitter threads and Reddit threads and stuff, and like spend that reading a book and then go like do stuff. I think books are like we live in a world of like so much misinformation and just useless stuff. Like, and I understand I'm like a product of this, right? Like, that's one of the reasons why my long form stuff is so long, is because like if we're gonna talk about like what's going on Twitter, I want to really talk about what's going on Twitter. If we're gonna talk about esports, we're gonna talk about esports, like, and we're gonna like really understand that concept, right? That it takes a long time to do that. It's another reason why like there's always a pendulum, and I think that podcasting right now is in vogue because people actually want that like 2 to 3 hour deep dive that books like used to have, and books are still good. Books are still really good. So I'm like a huge fan of books. I think books are super underrated.
How come content is bigger than business for you? This just doesn't compute. Also happy to see you back to streaming.
We answered that already. It's because the spiritual aspect of like giving back through content creation is just more rewarding to me. Like I love it.
That's true. That's why I'm Paintball. I feel like I have so much to give back, that I've been a part of communities that
my
just didn't
TCS
want my
was
presence there.
so
I showed up to
that's why it's so
Paintball, say, hey, this is who I was, this is what I enjoy about the game, and then opportunities came from there by picking up the camera. So, thank you.
This will be fixed next stream, where we'll have a
Have you ever saw ad videos Pocket
we'll have a
FM?
queue.
It get me emotionally invested on videos is the Pocket FM videos like Insta Empire.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I have no idea what you're talking about. Does the clip command work on YouTube? Not yet. We have to fix it. Everyone's attention span is too low for books these days? Yeah. Yep. Big agree. Big agree, man.
I use audiobooks. They get my attention. I used to consume a lot of podcasts on the assembly line.
Books are a medium for information. They're not inherently better source. They are inherently better. That's wrong. The reason they're inherently better is because you're having one person focus their expertise on years and years to focus on this one thing. A book will almost always be better than a tweet. The amount of thought, the amount of focus, the amount of research, the amount to get published and to get recognized.
Greg wanted some pictures of his field, so hopefully this wide angle shots, also being at higher angles, get to capture
now, there
that.
Are shitty books, right? But most likely, if you're on Amazon's like top best reading list, you've earned your position there, and there's like no shot that.
So I'm pretty sure I'm elevated right here in one of the structures.
I also don't
There
know
you
how to
go.
describe
Some
it, 'cause,
people
like,
running.
what I just
Get
said
some
before
action
was, like,
shots.
factually true, but there's also like a thing where it's like
This corner here was a very hot corner
there's like a
to reach into the town from the hyperball.
I don't know if it's an emotional investment. I don't know if it's a time investment. I don't know what it is.
A lot of action
When
came
you
from
watch
there.
a video, you're gonna get less out of it than if you read a whole book and try to learn from it. You just
Then I climbed up another structure.
even
Very
videos that are
slippery.
really
They need to
well
add more
in depth, like a
steps.
bird's
So
house
people at
video or something
Adrenaline,
like
if you're
that, like,
watching, add more
you
steps.
just
Make it
will
safer.
not retain that information or utilize
Thank
that
you.
information in the same level
Other
as
than
you
that,
use,
great game.
like as you read. All of the people that I know that are successful entrepreneurs read books.
Not
And
again.
everyone's like, oh, well, like there's kinesthetic learners and there's audio learners and there's like different type of learners. Like there's people that want to read books and understand that that leads to success, and there's people that don't want to read books because they've got TikTok brain.
Got the OPL logo in
I'm
there.
always a believer in more is more. The more you get.
Gotta give some referees some love.
Amp bot for the resub. Appreciate you, man. Helps the channel a lot. The clip challenge is actually fun. Yeah, it's good. I created a software product as Discord bot that's gaining users pretty fast. I want to focus on it, but I've also been slowly growing Twitch and YouTube content. How do I decide where to put my time? I don't think I can do both. I mean, what are you more excited about? Sometimes it's just that simple, right? How do you un-TikTok your brain? Meditation. Meditation is like actually the prescription for modern society. It is the answer. If there is an answer, like capital A, it's meditation.
These wide angle shots are really capturing the field and the size of the area, because if this is just one person, that's probably 150 feet to that castle, and people had to take control of that flag. It was very interesting. There we go, start getting into the action shots. This is way better. It just captures, like, yeah, I use the telephoto lens for like the close-up action shots, and try to get
If you want
the shot essentially.
bucks,
But the
is there
wide
a link
angle,
on this channel?
and I guess for
The
scenario
easiest way to do
or
that
these
is to
global
join the
games,
mastermind on Patreon.
it brings so much. Like, I'm looking at these, reliving it, I'm like, yeah, I was there, but
This channel's
there was
cool as
all
hell,
these
man. I can't believe we
obstacles
got this working. Isn't
in
this
the
neat?
way, and then the
on
players.
Discord, it just like
Something.
tells you all. Oh, and it also sends. So for the TTS, it also sends the TTS. I wonder if we could get it to send the chat message that people type in addition to it, so we can get a reference point for these clips. I bet we can do that. I'm pretty sure that's something we can do. Super cool.
There you go, get some pictures of kids for the game. Hopefully they had a positive experience. I know a few kids won some prizes. One kid won a back-to-back. So hopefully he stays in the sport and enjoys it
Between high school and college, I took a
and has the
year,
opportunities to
and I
enjoy it,
went,
because
south
from
of
the outside looking in,
California.
it's
I'm not
just
sure exactly where we
sad
went,
to
but we
waste
went,
all those years away
like
from the
past-
sport.
I was with one other person, a guy who's like a really good friend of mine, is a Native American, who also taught me, was a martial arts instructor. And I wandered for about a year down in Mexico, like went towards Mexico City. I was alone a lot then. Then like about 10 years ago, after we sold CLG, was that 10 years ago? Hang on. No, it was 6 years ago. I took like 6 or 7 months on sabbatical, did a lot of like solo camping out in Desolation Wilderness up in Lake Tahoe. And then I've done a lot of Vipassana retreats, where I've done 4-day retreats where you don't speak, you take a vow of silence, and then you meditate. I think
pretty
Vipassana
serious.
is by far the hardest one. It's actually really natural and pretty easy for most men to like be by themselves. I think you'll find that like once you do it, you'll be busy with stuff, but also like time just starts to pass. Like you like, you can look at stuff, you can like think, you have stuff to do. Like especially in like camping scenarios, you pretty much always have stuff to do. So it's actually pretty easy. The hardest thing was Vipassana, because when you're sitting by yourself and you don't have anything to do but think about all the shit that's inside you, like, man, that's hard. Vipassana is so hard. Vipassana is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
I live that shit every day. It's not
sucks.
hard.
It's
Just
super
years.
sucks. It was supposed to. Can't we just use a message, Kevin? Can't we just literally use like a % message command? It should work. So there's so the really cool thing about my religion is that all of it is free. So if you go to dhamma.org,
So this guy was pretty active all game. Surprised he didn't get nominated, or if he did, congratulations for an award. But he was a very aggressive player. He knew his role in the game. He can be a leader, and the leaders should look at him to bring up the next generation of players, because he knows what's going on. He had something going on.
Here's the temple. It's free or by donation.
Also, taking that castle is
They
pretty
don't
hard.
expect donations. Nobody really asks for anything, and you can just sign up for free.
This guy had lots of guns to try out.
Dates and everything. You go, you sit, food's provided for you, everything is free, and you just meditate quietly.
Shoot over there.
For like 4 fucking days. It's hard as fuck. I do not recommend it unless you're really serious. Like, go meditate for meditate for like 6 months every day consistently before you do this.
Taking a quick break. I'm shooting all day.
Trust me when I say it is really, really stupid hard.
I won't
Also,
give
I
that
don't
a
recommend this
5-star.
practice
If I got a
for
better
everyone.
angle,
If you have,
there you go.
If you
That's
have
a 5er.
tendency towards like psychosis or stuff like that. Like, don't ever do this type of stuff. I just do a lot of reading. Like, don't take my advice. Like, I would not. There's pretty much only like probably 1 in 10 people I meet I would actually recommend this to.
You gotta get pictures of stuff, Andrew. You gotta get pictures of stuff. High five or I'm out. Why is it not focusing on you?
Achieved your goal? No, I don't know what the fuck.
It's not focusing on you.
Dude.
I'm so sorry. Helicopter incoming. Fill the frame. There we go. We got a helicopter.
All right, let's go through stream stuff. I don't usually talk about the personal spiritual stuff on stream because people don't like that.
People are trying to fire. At the helicopter. Oh, if this comes out perfectly, that's gonna be a better photo. Same with this one. This guy knew what to do. This guy got an award for something. This guy was holding it down.
Why is there drama? Okay, so this one is, why is there drama around Iron Mouse getting
Even at 4.0 or
Aiden Ross goes off about after finding
the aperture at f4, sorry.
All-time Twitch subscriber record. I'm not even
wow.
This. I don't even think
we're gonna
the word
bump up that
say
lighting.
is allowed on.
Bump it up.
Let's find another link.
I think I scared this person.
I'll say loser. I can say that, right?
Find the player. I see the ref. I see the player.
So I was following this. It feels like Iron Mouse.
You know what? I like that one a lot.
Deserves this goober. Goober's such a good word. He doesn't know who she is, basically. Got it.
Another helicopter.
Yeah, what is it with people that are mad at VTubers as a result of like VTubers are like lesser content creators? It sounds like these goobers are literally just jealous because they got beat by a JPEG. Like, get owned, dude.
Yep. If you're getting beaten by a JPEG, you're not doing it right.
Complaint.
Is this going into game
Maddox
2?
will get this position quickly. I think that Maddox and I are talking right now. Maddox might come on the stream. We'll talk to him. As nearest I can tell, he's actually. So we did some research for the people that were on the Maddox stream. We did some research on his stream, more stuff offline. And nearest I can tell, like everything he's doing is completely legit.
Yeah, I think I was going around after game 1, taking pictures of people reloading, air supplying, eating a snack.
Actually seems like a super cool dude. That's the only reason I would think that you're actually jealous of VTubers, because here's the truth, right? Is like VTubers tend to grow much more effectively, and if I were to take the rate of successful VTube streams versus the rate of like actual normal streamers, the rate of VTubers would be a lot higher. I don't know how much higher it would be because I've never crunched those numbers, but I know it would be like a lot higher, like a lot higher. And I think people think that like VTubing is kind of a cheat code in a way, but it's not. Like you still have to put in like the exact same work. And it feels like if you're gonna go after
oh, this is what I did. I went to go check the board, and then I came back out.
Iron Mouse's story is like actually
That's what I did.
Iron Mouse started on a fucking ventilator from some immune deficiency where she couldn't even leave her house. And there's troll videos of like people not like doing collabs with her where they didn't even understand that she had like an oxygen
So this board was constantly flipping.
And like the sound going through her mic was like oxygen. Like,
I'm pretty sure once I turned my
and then
back,
she basically went from a no-name VTuber
it changed
to
again.
like becoming very successful, reinvested that money into medical care, got better, started to get better. She still is like super fucked, and has like at the same time grown her broadcast and just like through sheer grinding and work. And I like Iron Mouse is like I hold Iron Mouse in the absolute highest esteem. Now I think that she was able to pass Kai because of the Twitch gifted thing, the thing that's going on through, or I should say was going on, where Twitch would gift 50% of, or Twitch had some kind of like RNG loot box thing where if you gifted 5 subs, Twitch would gift like a random number of subs back, on top of 50% of her money going to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. So people are more incentivized to sub via charity. But who cares? Like it's like a not only is that a super good cause, like the win is legit, and now it gives Kai something to do, which I think is even more exciting because now Kai has to put on like a really huge event to beat this. Hell yeah, Norbro. Big ups, man. Super agree. Big agree with that. Can you explain why VTubers are more successful? No, I don't think I know why. I don't think I know why. So, okay. Realize that like when Devin Nash talks, there's like a level, there's like levels of authority, okay? So there's like this level, which is like I have like hard data from like advertisers and I'm almost like 100% sure. And then there's like this, which is like a combination of like my experience, and this is like 70%. And then there's like kind of me just like as an industry fellow, like sort of expert, like kind of taking guesses. This is like maybe like 30 to 50%. We're gonna be in this tier for this one. First of all, I think that the ability to produce a mouse like this kind of already begets a certain degree of production quality that comes with it. So like, because you are making this animated thing, you have like an artistic and branding quality to you that makes you easier to remember, and also like gets you like more impressions. So that like, look at her art style, right? Like and like there and like we can find like very small VTubers that have this quality, but all VTubers to me, they feel like they have a sort of special sort of branding. Their branding is like really freaking good. Their art is really freaking good. Their colors are really freaking good. Like, compare this to like the average streamer, and here's like some dude that nobody knows, like talking about Israel or something, I don't know, right? And he's just like some gray, blackish blob in like a background. Like, branding wise, not exciting. Owns the content that he's doing, right? Branding wise, not exciting. Compared to this stream, freaking colors, like deep red eyes, pink, right? Like moving fans, animation. This is exciting, right? Like from a pure production standpoint, VTubing just seems to be more interesting. It seems to be like just more. There's more stuff to do on the stream. There's more thought going into the actual show. And so I'm also highlighting to you like the best VTubers.
Alright, back to work. Break's done. Everybody wants to chat with me because they just got off work, just got home. And I got pictures.
You're in a world where everybody in your category is competing directly against you. Look at these thumbnails, which are just selected randomly off of streams. It's like dudes reacting, IRL stuff, people talking. And then here's like this like very kind of unique person, and then look again, here's another one where like I don't even know who this person is, but look at the difference in branding here. This is like really interesting to me, where again, like really high production quality. There's like a ton of shit going on. There's like people dancing around. There's like active chat. There's this girl with like you can do things to her. You can put sandwiches between her. You can pat her on the head. That's some stream interaction. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it's a lot of stuff, right? look at the difference, right? She's like biting people on the side. There's just like, oh, there's the coloration again enables so much more, and like the background, there's so much thought being put into this. Versus like, if I'm gonna go back to the directory, like this dude, like these people are crushing it, but like it's just like some dudes in like a dark room, like reacting to stuff. So my initial desire to like click on something to like, oh, like what's interesting.
I
what's
send the
happening,
podcaster
I look
the
at all
wrong
these
photo,
thumbnails, and these two
and
jump
it
out at me,
wasn't
like,
him.
probably the most.
How embarrassing.
Like, Extra Emily's is not bad, and I think that's one of the reasons why she's like been so successful. She often is doing like some really interesting IRL type challenge shit. But I think that like the old guard of Twitch, which is like this React style where people sit in the corner and like they watch like videos and stuff, I think that's like that's surviving because that is like the meta that the power users on the website exist in. But if you look at like the fastest growing people, and like by percentage you were like to compare someone like Hassan to like Vidal, like this is clearly like the new wave. Likewise, if you watch like some of the WL type of streamers like Kai Sanat or like Jason Lewin, these guys are basically only streaming if they have an event to do. Like Extra Emily doesn't start her stream unless she's doing something. Usually she's very, very rarely like in front of a computer, and I think this is no exception as to why her growth is like actually so insane. Like her growth over like she's grown 40% in just 90 days. In 180 days, or sorry, 360 days, she's grown 70% in a year. Like that's insane, right? Versus like if you take like a Hassan Abi and you look at like the same type of graph, maybe he's inoculated from this because of politics. We'll see. His 360. No, I'm right. I'm 100% right. His 365 is down 16.8%. Oh God, I didn't even know the numbers and I was right. Oh man. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love Vita Marketer. Okay, why? Well, because again, like you're seeing this change over. Let's look at Vidal, right? Like, what's Vidal do? I guarantee his stats will be absolutely insane, just like Extra Emily's. Vidal's up 40% in the year, right? So what's happening here is like the website is starting to realize that like the old kind of like just like what happened on YouTube, these creators like Tyler One and like Dan's Gaming and like Lyric and stuff, like I love these content creators. Like I watch Lyric like almost every day that I'm not streaming. Like I think he's like a phenomenal broadcaster, but like it's just like if I were to click on a Lyric stream and this wasn't Deadlock, then 8 years ago, like let's just say this was a game that came out like 8 years ago, like League of Legends. There's nothing on this stream, production quality wise or branding wise or anything, that I would be able to tell chronologically is different. I would not know, right? Versus like with Vidal, I'm instantly getting kind of a new experience of how to, like this is how I think streaming is evolving. So I guess that's why I think VTubers are naturally prone to growing more. I think they're sort of forced to think more about the event side of their show, and the animation allows them to do a lot more with their canvassing than like a Hassan or like a React streamer who's like really limited by his colors and like his his content. And like Hassan does so well because as of now he's the singular political personality on the platform, and Zach is more of like sort of like a pirate software thing.
Let it load,
Neither
let
of
it
these people
load,
in my
let it
opinion will
load.
handle the Kai Sanat. And so if we look at like Kai Sanat as a content creator, I said before that I think the best content being produced on Twitch is Kai. Kai's up 22%, but he's up 22% on that average, on a 50,000 person average. So like Kai is legitimately, by every single statistic that can be measured, the most successful streamer on Twitch. It's not even close, right? Like, he's just absolutely crushing it. And so, and, you know, the counter to this is always like, oh. well, like, I'm not interested in, like, Kai's type of content, which is totally fair. Fine, right? But he is the person carrying the banner for Twitch, right now. And there's other creators that are on YouTube that are equivalent to this kind of growth, like I Show Speed or like some of those folks, right? So the people that are winning on the event side are people like Extra Emily, who are making something of their stream every day. Or they're the people like Vidal who have like very high production quality, great coloration on their streams, and something interesting is always kind of happening. And for that reason, like, I think that VTubers sort of naturally fall into that category of like being forced to like create more events and do more things. I think that probably this style of broadcasting, this sort of reacts like guy in a corner.
What is happening to that stream? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this. Go back to this. Because I swear I took pictures of the right guy, send it to the right guy, but that wasn't the case.
Like, Reacts content ruled the world. Everybody was doing Reacts content on YouTube. And it was crushing, but over time, people just sort of stopped being interested in that. And Reacts content, like, still works in its respective niches. But now, like, the best content on YouTube has become like a hyper-realized version of reality. All of the best content on YouTube in terms of viewership are these just insane, really high production videos that are just like, they're so crazy in their scope. Asmongold still does YouTube, and he gets 800,000 views per video. Yep, but Mr. Beast gets 110 million views. Minimum. Like, there's no difference. So, like, what I'm saying is, it works exactly as I'm saying, right? That there is still a niche for that kind of Reacts content. Look, Asmongold still makes, like, 5 million a year. I'm not saying that Asmongold isn't crushing it. I'm just trying to give you guys an interesting talk kind of philosophically about like where the future of content is going. How about video essays? Video essays are a really interesting one. I love video essays. Like, I've been a huge fan of video essays for a long time. And I'm still like a really big fan of like, I love this channel, Critical Drinker. You'll notice I have like every video watched by this guy. It's because I don't want to subject myself to how stupid Rings of Power is. I know that clicking Rings of Power Amazon will physically and mentally hurt me at a level that I may not recover for many years. But luckily I don't have to worry about that. I can just watch someone else like make fun of it. Same with the Rey Skywalker shit and all this other stuff, right? I think these videos still do really, really well on YouTube, and I think they'll always have a place because they're sort of a ancillary commentary to like the meta that's going on. They're not going to do nearly as well as the hyper-realized content that everybody's doing with the Mr. Beast stuff, but I think the really cool thing about YouTube, and this is not true on Twitch, right, is like on Twitch you have the haves and the have-nots, where like these 10 people are like literally giga millionaires. Like Extra Emily is just pulling in like a few $1 million a year, no problem. Emaru, Zach, like all these people are just enormously successful. And then you have like a ton of people in like the just chatting category where if we scroll down like even just a little bit, you've got like, you know, the Devin Nash types that are just like weird niche people who like never, like they're just like, this guy's just straight up watching The Matrix, holy shit, how is Twitch not policing this? This guy's watching Naruto. It gets more interesting and kind of a little bit scarier the further down you go. until we go into like the dark dimension. See again, you notice how I stopped on this thumbnail? Look at the coloration of this random stream. This random VTuber. This is actually a perfect example of what I was talking about before. Look at this, right? Like, this person has like 142 viewers, but look at like the production quality next to like all of the other 100 viewer streamers. It's like, I think she's fucking sleeping, and it's more interesting. I don't know though, because I think she's sleeping. Translate. Hello? Oh God. Well, I don't know what she's doing because she speaks only moon speak, but and she speaks 3 different kinds of moon speak, but we're gonna assume she's sleeping. It's the most interesting sleeping I've ever seen. It's in like a cathedral with bright roses and colors and candles, right? Like small streamer, but crushing it. That's what I mean. Versus like everybody down here who's doing like who knows what, right? Like not a lot of like really interesting coloration or whatever. Here's another one, right? That's not sleeping, I'm pretty sure. This is interesting. Lots of like really crazy colors and things like this. This is why like I'm generally like a pretty big fan of VTubers. Demonic wolf at your service. Woo. Woo lad. Okay. So yeah, like
There we go.
Twitch has this entire
I
universe of,
found
like,
the
these
person I
haves
was
and
talking
have-nots.
to.
But like on YouTube, somebody like the Critical Drinker, who's got 2.3 million, like 2.1
That person's
million
gonna be
subs and
excited.
500
We'll
videos,
up that
he's,
to
like,
4.
successful. This guy's a millionaire, like easily, right? On 1 million view videos per shot, and that's like even if he has like I don't even know if he has like a Patreon, another way to monetize this. Most people don't. Most content creators are not like super business people. I don't think he does. But this dude's easily pulling $1 million. Yeah, and he's just got like a Twitter, and he's just got like a YouTube. That's like the beauty of YouTube to me, is that this dude can be successful, whereas like this same guy doing this kind of content on Twitch, it's like impossible, right? Yeah, his store is cool, but YouTube stores don't convert for shit usually. So, Duder4 from YouTube says she is Asian, I guess. Good, yes. She is Asian. So, to answer, that's a long way of saying I'm a huge fan of video essays, I think. Yeah, every day the production quality goes up.
Yeah, I didn't want to be weird with this photo. I knew she was there. I just didn't want it to be weird.
Finally, after a store guy kept handing him, he saw a huge increase in sales. Yeah, sure. I mean, an increase of 0 is always an increase, no? Are TikTok ads worth it? Yes, but it just depends on like what you're trying to do. Hey, what's up, Mark? How you doing? Why don't you stream much with Destiny anymore? I'm just not in a very big mood. Like, I'm to like collab with many people. I'm good doing my own thing. Also, if I do talk to Destiny, it's gonna be after the elections. I just don't want the shit show that his audience like. His audience is in a fucking frenzy over, I don't know, whatever, Kamala, Trump, whatever. I don't want that shit on my channel. So I'm just gonna attract that kind of viewer if I do a lot of stuff with him. Also, like, I respect his hustle. He's doing his own thing. I felt fine going on his show when he was like, when I was obviously like not a content creator. I feel less fine about it now because I have like, there's like an incentive for me to be there where like I could gain viewership or gain audience and stuff. I don't like that feeling, so I'm not gonna do it probably. Are you doing any collabs? I think we're gonna talk to Maddox sometime in the next couple of weeks. Find out how he's got like 90,000 gifted subs and what his strategy is. I think we'll learn a lot from that talk. He seems like a legitimately really nice guy who's like really thought about his like his stuff. But like mostly I think our collabs are gonna be very, very small. Critical Drinker does have a Patreon? Yeah, he doesn't like talk about it at all. Why Why doesn't Twitch fly out their biggest creators to TwitchCon? I think they still do, no? Be very surprised if they don't. He's not doing bad. Yes, the VTuber discussion did stem from that. Do you want to connect with Harris Eller? I know Harris super well, dude. We've done tons of shows together. It's all over YouTube. What's the donut exodus? That sounds familiar, Grill Robot. You've been streaming and posting more. Have you been doing anything different, with business or personal, to give yourself more time? Just working more, really. I stopped. I kind of like stopped playing video games to go all in on this content creation thing because I just really want to give it a shot. Want to like see if how far I can go. Personal challenge / like I want to help people if I can. I heard from other political YouTubers that political YouTube is boom or bust. Every election season they're a big channel, and when elections end, they turn into a small YouTube. Maybe, yeah. I don't like politics as a category for content creation. It gets really easily demonetized, and if you're on the wrong side of history, you get deplatformed. Which, like, so, like, and like, it's hard to say what the wrong side of history is. Like, sometimes in America it's left, sometimes it's right. It just depends, right? So, like, it feels like politics over the long term is like, oh yeah, and then the other problem with it is you're angering 50% of your audience no matter what you do, right? So if you have to take a side, like you're pissing off everybody that's not on that side basically no matter what, and that alienates the audience and also makes them hate you. In someone like Destiny's case, or Hassan's really, it's kind of interesting because like we have a video coming out hopefully tomorrow about outrage marketing, and I made a short about it, but like hopefully some of those haters can like help your exposure a lot of the time. But even still, like, I guess for me personally, like, I don't want to cultivate an audience based on like a lot of people hating me. Like, dude, like it's bad enough. It's funny. Some guy emailed me the other day, and he's like, "Oh, like I wanted to post your I had a clip of you. It was really funny. I posted your clip on LSF, and it got 0 upvotes, but it got 50 comments." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." That's how posting me on LSF goes, because I'm literally everything they hate, right? Like capitalist, corporate overlord, C-level person, talks all the time about like self-success metrics. Like the last thing they want to do is realize that they're not the victim and they have to take charge of their own life to succeed, right? And it's like it's so like I'm automatically gonna be the enemy to those people, right? Like 100%. And like when you get yourself in, like from a politics standpoint, you like are automatically that for, you know, some 50% of your audience, and that's just like it's hard enough like having any kind of controversial stance. I also think it's why like a lot of people just don't do anything, you know, like it's like most people just aren't controversial at all. Are clips still one of the best ways to succeed at content marketing? Like Twitch clips? Yeah, 50% of the world. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Blue Shade, thanks for the follow, man. Why do a lot of streamers dislike LSF? LSF is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. It's just like a group of people that just hate everything. Overall, though, like Livestream Fail is the website that's catapulted like many broadcasters into relevancy, whether they like it or not. Kaisenot's thoughts on Iron Mouse beating the Kaisen. I guarantee you he like W's her and is like, let's fucking go. Is this actually a real clip?
It got broke today. No, somebody broke it. Somebody took my record. But look though, no, Iron Mouse. Okay, I want to go ahead and congratulate. Iron Mouse for breaking my record. Clap it up, clap it up.
No, Iron Mouse.
Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. But look though. Iron Mouse, you feel what I'm saying? She took the record. She really did that. You feel what I'm saying? But I promise one thing to my supporters if that was broken. You feel me? So we're going to have to see what happens in the future. All right? Appreciate y'all.
Yep. Success honors success. And then his takeaway is, I freaking love that you W for you, but I'm going to try harder. That's real success talking. It's not like in 1,000-person comment thread of like why Iron Mouse sucks or whatever. Everybody in these 1K comments is never going to be anything. That's not true. Obviously, it's really mean to say that. It's like, I'm sure there's plenty of like, you know, reasonably successful people in here, but what I'm saying is like, real success is like a Kai type response. You know? Who exactly is Kai Snot? Why is he playing basketball against children? I don't know why he's playing basketball against children. I think he's trying to get into the Little League NBA or something. Oh man, I'm actually getting baited by some of these threads. Partnerships now include raid viewership? Isn't this always been true? This has always been true. We actually include raids now. We don't want to punish the idea of networking communities. Yeah, this has always been true. So like even back in 2012, in fact, the way that one of the ways that we got enough numbers for partners is I had the OG, like people like Cobalt Streak and like Dan's Gaming and Lethal Frag. Those guys rated my stream over and over again, so I got enough consistent CCVs to apply. This has been true since 2020. Or 2010. Excuse me. It's probably just been immortalized. Nah, it wasn't true before. Okay, this dude, this wrong. This dude just like, nah, you're wrong. Like, okay, I literally just told a story of how I got partnered as a result of doing it, but sure. Like, whatever. Let me hand over my stream key to you, who is clearly correct. I don't care about your source. My source is it happened to me. Hey, I appreciate you being. I began my streaming journey a while ago and chose an alternate route for focusing on content creation going live. I instead opted to build a community on Discord first. Ooh. After Discord enabled subscriptions at 90-10 split, I have more members at $25 than $5 for a very small community. Awesome. Good on you, man, for thinking about something like a kind of a different way than everybody does it. Usually pays dividends. Is Sam Altman a trustworthy person to build AGI? I hope so, Harris. Because if he's not, it's going to be a real problem. I don't know if anyone who has the like Machiavellian plan to convert a non-for-profit 401c through a B-class selection to a B Corp and then collect $10 billion in equity when he literally testified in front of Congress that he's not doing this for the money is a trustworthy person to build AGI. It makes me a little bit nervous. Just a little bit. Like, I don't know about that. Like, that was a fucking crazy move. And really, like, it shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, I understand what that says, Fumi, and I'm telling you it's not right. I'm just like outright telling you that it's not right. So but I'll tell you why. Okay, so I think up until like very recently, so this is at least like the last like 10 years, the way that partnership was calculated on the back end, and I just want you to keep in mind, right? Like we can argue about this, but you are talking to a guy who on the back end is an agency of record for Twitch, and who has literally seen this process, right, multiple times. It will display their CCVs. It's not like calculated out. There's no like analytics to it. Just display your CCVs over like a V30 and a V90, and then it'll display some other kind of semi-irrelevant stuff about your channel. And they'll just make they'll click on your channel and they'll make a manual decision on if they should partner you or not. And then partnership is literally a drop-down menu in Salesforce that's just like, should you be partnered or not? That's how it works. So there'd be no way for those staff to tell beforehand that like X number of views like came from promotion or X number of views came from raids or things like that. Like I understand like what you're saying, and I understand it's on the Twitch help file. It's not been true for 10 years. It's not true now. It's just a cool thing for them to say or whatever. Okay, but back to the Sam Altman thing. It just makes me super nervous. Yeah, Twitch just did some miscommunication. They should remove that note because it's on their website, but it says different rail. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true for a lot of things on Twitch. It's like, yeah. If what Sam Altman did is allowed, and nobody questions that, why shouldn't every single business owner start as a 501c3 and then convert to a B Corp when they're profitable? So I literally just don't pay income tax for like the first 10 years I'm in business, because that's what a 501c3 allows you to do. And then I literally just convert over to a B Corp, which is the same as a C Corp. You get all of the benefits except you have a purpose, right? If that's allowed, like, I don't know. There's no way that goes through, right? Someone's gonna stop it. Who's gonna stop it? Somebody's gonna stop it. Lena Khan is gonna have his head. That's the only way FCC's gonna stop it. You would think, because that is a crazy fucking thing to do. OpenAI didn't pay $1 in tax for their entire existence. Sam goes in front of Congress and is like, guys, I'm doing this for the good of humanity. I love humanity. Humans are great. I don't want to replace them at all. I don't have a killer robot behind me, nothing like that, and I don't want any money, not a single dollar. And then he's like, surprise. SEC? No, I mean the FTC. I think, like Lena Khan, I think, probably is the person that goes after him, right? It's a trade issue. Because the SEC handles public companies. The FTC handles stuff like that. And the IRS. It's one of them. Some three-letter agency is going to bend him over. And I don't know which one, but one of them is going to do it. Do you think Lena Khan's doing a good job? I think I don't know enough about what Lena Khan's doing to say that for sure. It's some combination of the FTC and the IRS that's going to bend him over, right? Has to be. She's doing something. Streamer leaked his dashboard showing he made 1.2 million a month. Still think YouTube is better, way more sustainable long term. When you stop streaming, it's all gone. When you have 1,000 vids, you can make tens of thousands a month for years to come. Who is this guy? Holy shit. Have you heard the Eric Schmidt interview at Stanford? Yeah, that interview is really scary. Oh, do we have ads? Hang on. 1 sec. We have ads. Let's take a brief break. We'll be back in like a minute. Like just 3 minutes on the dot. Sorry. Gotta run. We have to. Twitch is asking us to run ads. Sorry, YouTube. Stable Ronaldo? Holy fuck. Okay, I'll look at this in a second. What? What? Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. Okay. Minutes, is that it? Oh, we're done. Cool. We don't have ads for an hour and a half now. That's badass. Let's go, guys. Who the fuck is this guy? How did he grow? He's like, he came from nowhere. What? I know about Jason the Ween, yeah. I'm like getting back up to speed on these W streamer phase people. I'll never understand how these people are growing. Like, I feel like it's like some Illuminati cult shit, some owl god shit, like some fucking bohemian cult shit, some fucking like FaZe Banks sacrificed, like bathed in the blood of like 1,000 children type of shit. All my marketing knowledge like doesn't explain how these people pop off. It's like, I don't know. He's consistent as fuck, but like, look at this. This dude's like... He inspect elemented it? It's not actually 2.2 million? That's so funny. Is that true? I think that's probably true, because this makes no sense. Isn't this just like ad revenue? You can do the math because the subscriptions are... Does he actually have 63,000... Here. All this is data we can find. He probably has, he has, that number's real. So 65,055 times 3.5, so it's that's 227 times 12. So that's 2.7 million a year in subs. But he's not making, so he's definitely not making 1.2 million off of ad revenue. Everything else, this all looks legit though. This all looks legit to me. He's consistent as fuck, but like, look at this. Like so here, oh no, he's still fucking huge here. If I'm wrong. This is where it is. How do you have 1,000 viewers, you don't stream for a month, and then you come back to 2K, 3K, 5K, 6K, 7K? You can't explain this to me. This guy, like, disappears for 2 months. He's, like, basically nobody. Is this FaZe? Look at his hours streamed in September. You're telling me that just joining FaZe Clan brings this kind of hype to a person? Fuck me, dude. That, like... No, he's been in FaZe for 2 years? Yeah, so what happened? Crazy. Averaged around 1 to 4K, bought a car on stream, and that stream he had 10 to 30K views. Devin plus FaZe when? I would literally rather gargle magma balls than of a fucking lava elemental than join FaZe Clan. If I've joined FaZe Clan, it truly is the end times. But that doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge their success. It's pretty impressive. He's been known with like ninja equipped trains, but he's been in the right environment type of thing. TikTok went crazy. Is his TikTok like fucking crazy? I'd really like to study the return of FaZe Clan. At some point we'll do that, because the fact that that FaZe Banks, like, I guess so what he did was like he fired like most of the content creators, and then he got like a small group together and like pushed them forward again. Crazy. Hey, Phoenix. Yeah, of course. First message in 11 years? What? Has he really been following the channel that long? 10 years, 9 months, 7 days for Cody. Actually insane. Actually insane. I can't even load this guy's page. I don't know if I'm capable of understanding this. This might be where my marketing knowledge ends, guys. What do you think about people like Kai coming in and just blowing up the platform before a lot of people recognize him? Kai makes perfect sense to me. Kai makes perfect sense to me. Why don't you like FaZe Clan? They abuse their FaZe Clan, at least the iteration of FaZe Clan that I dealt with in esports was, yeah, I'm confident in saying the worst organization in terms of ethics that I have ever dealt with. Whether it be the way they encourage and influence people to do things, allegedly, quotation marks, drinking with underage people, the sort of like pushing of like the influencer like party culture narrative that like gets kids to like do dumb shit. And then just the pure business stuff, which I think to this day I probably still can't talk about. But the contracts they did, I mean, there's stuff out there. I think that somebody got a hold of a FaZe contract at one point that showed just how predatory it was. And the people that were fundamentally responsible for that type of business behavior have not changed. Although some of like the big hand executives have and shit. So I just am not a fan of that kind of business. I think that FaZe Clan is like an example of a true like medieval king experience. A couple of people like sit on the throne, everybody else gets like fucked over, but yet the entire peasantry glorifies them as like the gold standard. Like they become a religion, but like they're actually just fucking everybody over. But you got a W success where you see it. Like, this is really impressive. I just think it's beyond me. I just don't understand. Like, I don't really understand like why this happens. There's an audience of people that it's just in a demographic that I don't like ever target. I don't really understand. Like you have to give credit where it's due. Like, look at the number of FaZe creators in the top 20 right now. Like, it's pretty crazy. Who watches FaZe, like 15 to 22? I think it's much younger. It's probably like 13 to 20. But YouTube and Twitch don't have good age detection systems for like, so like analytically, YouTube and Twitch are not incentivized to show you the number of users that are below 18, because to sponsors and like advertisers like us, that's useless, right? Like, we can't, if we see a high percentage of younger audiences on the platform, that's a major turnoff for us. And it also kind of look at FaZe Adapt. He was big in 2015, 17. And then the new FaZe group. But what is the new FaZe group, though? Can someone explain that to me? Like what it's here, let's. I guess the culmination of this was like the Banks brought back FaZe and then just handpicked some people he thought were good creators, and he dropped like most of the creators out, right? Like, Banks is super fucking good at picking talent, man. That's like his look at this, man. Jason got 100,000, 104,000, then all these other guys got like 81,000, 30, 50, 25, 65, and like, I legit don't know a single one of these people. I've never watched a single clip from any of these people. And what's crazy too is that like most of this was done in the live streaming space. I don't even know how much YouTube actually impacted this. He dropped the ones that were complaining. Also coordinated with the off-brand people and got them into categories in the streamer rewards randomly. Oh. They were all live 24/7 for 30 days. Oh. That's why, okay. The plot thickens. $696 stream. One stream. Yeah, this motherfucker was just straight up live for 30 straight days. Okay. That makes sense. Look at that watch time. Good lord. And this follower graph. I just watched 10 minutes of Iron Mouse and it's just only constant thanking gifting subs? Yes, sir. Does that add up for ad revenue? So his average viewers, 14,000 average viewers for 30 days with those hours watched. It's so hard to calculate because there's so many hours watched. I'll try though. I have to do the calculation off the screen though.
His glasses are
A bunch
fogged.
of CPM numbers that I can share. Oh man, this is hard. Hold on a sec. Okay. 14,000 viewers-ish. Or that many watch hours. It's like, I think it's 400K. It's about $400,000, I think, for that month. Yeah, it's a lot. But the money that he's making is off of subs, I think, because the subs are like reoccurring revenue. Like, I'm more impressed by the subs. The subs are crazy. But the thing with, like, gifted subs, like, you look at this, like, this all falls off after the next month, so, like, who cares? That's like a guy like Casey, or, like, man, this guy is, like, crazy. Like, Iron Mouse is insane, dude. Iron Mouse is actually goated. Actually goated. 301,000 paid subs. $12.6 million a year flat. Even if you divide that by half for the charity donation. Whoops. You're at 6.3 million per year, just on paid subs. Oh, 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 oh. But it's like, it's broken, no? Because it's saying gifted subs, it's not, so the paid subs not right, because that number doesn't add up. But it comes out to 6 million for her either way, whether it's gifted or paid. That's like, it's interesting because like some of the very top people on Twitch are like actually starting to reach like big YouTuber levels. Not big YouTuber. Like, if you still compare... If you compare it to the biggest YouTubers, it's not even close, man.
Wow, there's more photos off the field.
Actually, not even close. The active is equal to sub points? Yeah, maybe. Well, some streamers, like, you can't count out, like, so this guy, like Maddox, the guy we were talking about, he has 575 subs at the $25 tier. And those are paid reoccurring subs. And you get, I think, do you get 70% of that? I think you get $4 of it. Or sorry, 80% or whatever, so 80% of... I think you get $20 of it. Let's assume you do. So that's $138,000 a year just off tier 5s. Like it's like a, like, you can actually, if more streamers incentivize tier 3 subs with like cool shit like he does, you could actually like make a cool living off of it. A lot of people don't realize that. Oh, true. I forgot about that. The subscriptions are relative now. So if you subscribe in like Turkey or Europe, the streamer gets like a lot less money. If you're in a category 2 or category 3 country, you get less money. That actually fucked over a bunch of the hot tub streamers because like a fucking huge percentage of their audience is Turkish. So like their revenue got cut in half with that Twitch announcement. Yeah. So it's like, which makes the phase and like the Kai Cenat success even more fucking crazy, because like probably, you know, like a huge percentage of their shit is United States. Why so many Turkish viewers? Horny jail, man. Actually horny jail. Religious horny jail. No cap. Is it banned in their company, in their country? Yeah. Yeah, like... Just trying to find a PC way to say this. Like, all of us here are, all of us here are, like, one click away from ultra porn. But... the best you get is the best you get. So like, in Turkey, like you cannot access that stuff. It's very hard. But also, there's just like a certain cultural thing around like revealed woman and everything like that too. Costs 1.82 USD to gift a sub in Brazil. That's crazy. So it's like if you sub in Brazil, the streamer gets 50% of that on average, which is like what? So like the streamer's getting like 60 cents a sub, or like a little bit over $1 a sub or whatever. Like 90
now
cents
I understand why money is green. It's transparent in the Matrix.
The lowest possible
in the movie,
cost
The
per
Matrix
sub is
had a green
$1.50, which is
filter.
big step from the old price. Well, considering that, yeah, so then 50% of that is 60 cents ish, no? Is Reddit an effective top funnel? Yeah, it is, but most people don't use it that way. Twitch has a whole breakdown on page for each country, pays for sub. Can you send that to me? Twitch was planning on eating the cost difference for the first year. Oh yeah, maybe for top streamers or something. Thank you. I guess the price for, holy shit, the Canadian price for a sub is outrageous. Jesus Christ, dude, $8? I could buy like
$8 Canadian
a
though.
sandwich for that. Australia, Australia just gets so fucked on everything. I saw like Space Marine 2 costs like Space Marine 2 costs legit like $140 in Australia, and I'm like, how does anybody survive in this country? Truly is the prison island. This is a large amount of countries that have like very, very small amounts of subs, but like none that have like a significant Twitch audience. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of people from the Kyrgyz Republic. I don't believe that that's a real place. That sounds like a place where insect, like the Hive Nation lives, like some Ender's Game shit. What the fuck? It's real. That's an AI made-up country. Can we safely image search this? I'm like so afraid. Oh, this is like kind of like a Mongolia-ish place. Looks cool as fuck, honestly, dude. I want to be that guy. You could get cancer for this if they had a bigger population. I'm pretty sure there's no representative of the Kyrgyz Republic here, bro. I'm gonna take a safe bet that those guys are preoccupied with some other stuff. But if I did lose that audience for that comment, I only lost 60 cents in the potential sub. So how does it work if like somebody in the Philippines subs to me? Then like it's 100 pesos. And then does that pesos then get converted to USD, which is actually dog shit? Filipino pesos to USD conversion. Okay. So 100 pesos is $1. Oh, it's about the same. It's like $1.77. Random intellectual exploration on a Devin Nash stream is what I live for. That's what we do here, yeah. Hi, Kevin. Good to see you, man. Miss you, buddy. Ukraine subs will give you 3 cents before? Yeah, so this makes sense. That's not like, okay, that's whatever. I feel like in the Philippines, though, like if I had $1, I could like, I'd rather like buy a car or like a business or something with that $1 USD. You know, I've always kind of like tried to think about if this hurts streamers or not. Like, I guess ultimately it does, no? Because like, on one hand, it's like, if you look at the distribution of most broadcasters, it's like usually like 50 to 60% United States. Now, granted, like you're gonna have a higher average number of people that sub on like United States type stuff because they're gonna have disposable income. Like I don't know how many people from Azerbaijan are gonna be like, damn, I'm subbing myself to a Twitch streamer, rather than like, damn, I'd like to eat some bread. But like, so for like most of the tier 3 countries, it doesn't really matter. Where it matters is in tier 2 categories like Brazil, India, those kind of places that have like large populations of potential people that could actually sub. But, and also in like specific use cases like the hot tub streamer scenario, which is really interesting. where like a lot of the girl streamers, the ones that convert up to OnlyFans, their sub income like declines 60 to 70% because most of their viewers are tier 2 and tier 3 countries, but they don't care because their entire monetization was on OnlyFans anyway. And most of those girls are like just sheer crushing it in terms of OnlyFans. They're crushing it so hard. OnlyFans is crazy good. Do they give less ad revenue as well? Yeah. That's always been true because there's always been 3 different categories of it. They basically just took what they did with ads and what they've always done with ads, and they took it to here. You think that Twitch would revert this in the future after these growing regions join Twitch? Well, the problem is that like it's not clear that these regions will join Twitch. I mean, I'm sure they will like eventually on like a long enough time scale. But the problem is it takes a shitload of bandwidth to view a Twitch stream compared to viewing a video. Because on a video, even on like a dog shit connection, you can buffer it. So like you'll eventually be able to watch it. And on Twitch though, it requires a pretty consistent, stable connection even to watch its like 360p. Like something like north of like 2 to 5 up megabytes per second. And like the vast majority of the world just doesn't have that. Like if you look at here, look at this is an interesting statistic. Like the average internet speed for uploads is 24 megabytes and like 219 in the United States. It's gone up a lot since before. There's plenty of people in the United States who still can't support watching a Twitch stream. Like they just straight up don't have the bandwidth for it. And a lot of these like smaller towns, like out in the south and stuff. They literally just can't.
Regional and specific parts of a country, like for example San Francisco to Alabama?
No, they're just the way that ads work is on both YouTube and Twitch is the same. You have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Tier 1 is like stuff like United States, UK, Germany, basically people with like the highest disposable income. And then like tier 2 is like Brazil, like Portugal, Spain. This is like second highest, like developing nations, and then 3 is like a lot of stuff on this list, like Azerbaijan, Syria, like pretty much everything else, right? Like India's tier 2-ish now, like to varying degrees. So the way that it works is you get thrown into a category, and then you're charged, your ad is that much more effective depending on the category it's in. It's the same if you're like serving, that's why like you could have a very successful YouTube channel, but if your audience is like 90% Pakistani, you just don't really have a shot at like getting a lot of meaningful revenue, even if you're like a US-based creator. If you're speaking like Hindi and your audience is like mainly Indian, and India's like kind of just sort of like hovering on that like tier 3, tier 2 country, the problem is that you're not going to make like a meaningful amount of ad revenue based on that. Can you hack an audience that way? Yeah, sure. Like an Indian creator in India could make content for people in the United States, and that shit will pop off. You can earn tier 1 income living in a tier 3 country if you have like the resources, but the problem is like how many Indian people have access to a computer, have like knowledge of like the United States meta, have enough bandwidth to like upload consistently and storytell and speak English enough to tell like interesting stories and have access to the resources. It's why like I don't have a lot of sympathy for like American content creators. They're like, I can't make it. It's very hard. Like, oh, right. It's like, dude, you literally have like YouTube. You have like a computer. You speak like super fluent English. You can literally like type in twitch.tv/DevinNash and like learn everything you want to know or whatever. Like it's super possible. There are plenty of people in third world countries that are making tier 1 income, but it's a lot harder for that person because they're starting from a lot farther behind. Like it's like the same concept as like can you birth an entrepreneur out of like a small Alabama town that is like not connected to anything? Like, sure, it's possible for an entrepreneur to come from there, but like they're literally like on an island where their only education is their family, and the only food they have to shop for is at like Walmart. Versus like my dumbass, where I came from a family where my dad was a businessman. I've always been pretty well off, and like I shop at Whole Foods. Like it's not even comparable, right? Just the amount of knowledge, the shit that I have to start with. It's why I don't like really think that like my business success is my own 100%. You know, like I think like we're all just kind of the product of our environment to some extent. A person can like beat the system, but they have to work that much harder to do it. This is a Brazilian streamer. No meaningful growth in subs after regional pricing. It didn't seem to pay off for the streamer. I think that the people that get most fucked by this, I agree with you fully, are the people that are in tier 2 countries. Like tier 1, your audience is kind of paying more or less for their sub anyway. Tier 3, like I don't know. Tier 3 is like a whole nother world. And then tier 2 is like the ones that get screwed because like, or people that are appealing to tier 2 audiences. Like I said, like female streamers who happen to like have a huge audience of like people. But like the goal of a female streamer that's like trying to push OnlyFans, their goal is to push highly converting people up to OnlyFans that are from the tier 1 audiences. So they don't really care about like the tier 2 audiences. Doesn't that difference signify the existence of luck in some sense? Yeah, or karma, as I would call it. For sure. If the subs are cheaper, wouldn't more people sub? Well, no, because in Brazil, if you're Brazilian, you only have so like okay, are we gonna get into economics, guys? Like ain't no way you believe in karma. I'm a Zen Buddhist. What do you mean? Of course I believe in karma. Are we gonna get into like economics? So if you are in a country where your purchasing power of parity is less, you have less money. So like the average Brazilian has less money. No, it's not just relative pricing, right? The average Brazilian has less money than the average American. That makes sense, right? So like the reason why this Brazilian streamer wouldn't get as many subs in Brazil, even if the price is relative to the currency, is because they just don't have as much purchasing power. Buddhist karma is not what the average American thinks when they hear karma. Yeah, that's right. That's very true. Karma isn't real. You're not real either. In 100 years, you won't be real. Or 150 or 200, however long it takes for everybody to forget your name. Where does that leave you? Does it make you any less true that you're not real? Have you seen creators advertising on Twitch feel like play for OF streamer would be to use sub money to run ads and be self-liquidating? No. You'd think so, but the play for the Twitch, like the funnel for Twitch to OnlyFans is a brilliant funnel. Like, if OnlyFans built Twitch, they couldn't have built a better platform to funnel people into OnlyFans. Because you literally have just the right amount of risky content that's allowed to drive people down further into like paid models. And you already have all of the pay structure coming in at the top of the funnel, the subs and the donations and everything. So it's literally like pay. Oh god, it's so good. I look at the Twitch model and I'm like, this was built for OnlyFans. It's amazing. So when you get a user into the top of a funnel, what you want to do is you want to teach them the behavior that they have ideally when going down below the funnel, right? So like ideally, if I get a user here, I want to teach them that like paying money is like how we do things. Okay? So at the top of the funnel, I have like subs, I have like donations, and this is all in exchange for attention, right? Like why do people use like TTS and like donations and stuff like that? It's attention, right? So you're already teaching the people the right like behavior to lead them down into the OnlyFans model, and then at this point, or actually for most of these people, it's actually a bottom funnel type of thing. So it's like lower down here. And so at this point, you still have monthly subs, you still have donations, but you also have like pay to view and like pay to interact, which is like messages or like videos, custom content. And then you can show like you don't, there's like no nudity, there's no nothing. So like if a viewer wants something more from this like transaction, they have to convert down funnel. It's such a good model. Such a good model. I feel like Instagram is way better for OnlyFans. Totally disagree. Totally disagree. I understand why you think that way though. But like Instagram is a good model, but it's the sort of like it's the teaching, it's the education part that's so powerful. It's the you're teaching, and I'm not like trying to make like an ethical commentary on this, but this is what's happening. You're teaching your viewers to become more parasocial, right? Right out the get-go. The understanding is to get significance with this product. In this case, like the woman is the product. I understand people like think about that in like a wrong way. I'm literally just trying to explain a marketing concept, like calm down. Like the woman is the product. Like to get more of that, like you have to interact more. The way that you get rewarded is through interaction. The way you get attention is through donations and subs, right? Literally the same model drives you down into the exact same payment structure down here. It's like really genius. How does Amazon stop leaving all this money on the table? That's a good, like all the money from OnlyFans. I haven't watched you much, but what I've seen you talk about OnlyFans surprisingly often. Yeah, it's because OnlyFans is like literally the most successful creator platform there is. You understand that, right? like OnlyFans is like, in terms of creators making money, the highest percentage of creators that could make money and the most success, OnlyFans is like by far the most successful. It's more successful than YouTube. It's more successful than Twitch. Like I'm just calling the game. All right. Like I'm the shoutcaster. I'm just calling the game. If it was Kick that was the most successful platform of all time, we'd be talking about Kick all the time. But it's OnlyFans. That's where people pay the most money. That's where like the most people make like dollar per hour. Like that's like where you have the highest success chance of becoming a creator. It's the best. Pretty crazy. Now it's an interesting thing that I think Twitch chat brought up, which is like, yeah, like look at OnlyFans' success against Twitch. Like look at the revenue that OnlyFans is pulling in with like how many staff? So like OnlyFans right now has like what, 40 full-time staff? Twitch at one time had over 6,000. They've never turned a profit. Do you see why I'm like obsessed with OnlyFans? It's because like you're turning over a $6.7 billion profit on 40 employees versus Twitch that can't do it on 6,000. That's owned by Amazon, $1 trillion company, the best, like the biggest in the business. Like it's fucking crazy that OnlyFans is doing what it's doing. It's fucking crazy. Like how many people work at YouTube? I don't know, but it's more than 50. It blows my mind. Yeah, it's super impressive. But you have to do porn to be successful with OF? No, there's a guy who, I forget what his name is, but he takes a picture of himself taking a dump. He's not literally taking it, it's just his face. He happens to be on the toilet when he's taking the picture most times. But that's not relevant. He's taking a picture, it's just his face with a big smile. He's on OnlyFans, like converts like $1 million a year, dude. Like there's like tons of different like creators. Sure, the vast majority of people on OnlyFans are doing pornographic content. But there's a large amount of creators on there that do other things that like are... No, because you don't watch him take a dump. Stock traders are on OF. Yeah, they are. There's a lot of like OF. There's like plenty of people. OF must have lower operating costs than Twitch. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because the CDN is so much cheaper for sure. But it's the I've talked about this before. I think we have a YouTube video about it, right, guys? Where like the reason why the OnlyFans model, like why this is so effective for driving like buyer psychology. No, it's not. You missed the point. It's not about him pooping. It's literally just it's literally just a photo of his face smiling. He just said in an interview that he tends to be on the toilet when he takes the picture. You'd never know. It's not like some poop thing. It's not related. It's just a guy taking a picture. OF was supposed to be like Patreon. Yeah. Yeah. Vile, I'm sure there's plenty of that other stuff on OnlyFans, but that's like not my category. Isn't Twitch finally getting rid of their own data centers with GPU doing transcode? Yeah, I mean the whole reason they announced AV1 with like multiple tiers of encoding is because that's now all it's all being done GPU side. So Twitch won't have to encode. Twitch's cost should go way down in the next few years for sure. And combined with like onboarding the rest of their actual server costs onto AWS. I mean they're already practically all on AWS anyway. Did he say he's working on AV1 or did he say that they're doing AV1? I don't really remember. Twitch con was underwhelming. Create an OF for marketing content. Pay the 10 hottest models promote themselves on Twitch. The viewers only click on the OF only to see educational content. I have a Patreon, and my Patreon is actually fucking crazy good. So I'm already kind of an OnlyFans type creator. My Patreon is so high value. Like it's actually I don't know if there is a higher value Patreon. There's so many videos on here. I just have to organize them into collections so people don't have to keep scrolling. I'll get around to that. You can't trick horny dudes though. Dude, people should be horny for marketing. Do dance lessons? Yeah, I could. I straight up could. Can you talk about how subscription pricing strategies in general? I know you mentioned in a vid having one really expensive tier. You're talking about price anchoring? Price anchoring is a concept where, let's say you have like a tier system. So you have like 3 buckets, and this one is like, this one's gonna be like $20 a month. This one's gonna be like $50 a month. This one's gonna be like $100 a month. And then the idea of price anchoring is you have a bucket over here, or it could be like a really small bucket, where your pricing is like $1,000 a month or like $2,000 a month, like something outrageous. This doesn't have to be monthly subscriptions either. This can be just flat cost. So the idea here is this is called a price anchor because it's anchoring every other price to look more reasonable. And this works. This works super good at marketing. So you always want to have like a outrageously expensive tier, and there's 2 reasons for this. So the first reason is because it anchors this price and makes these prices look more reasonable. But the second reason is that someone might actually go for it, right? So if you actually have people go for this tier, it does 2 things. One, it makes you a ton more money. But two, it also forces you to step up your content to the level where you deserve this. And then you find that you can raise all of your prices on this end also. This is a marketing concept. It's not just a concept for like subscriptions. It's like a concept for like price anchoring is like really, really, really effective. Super, super good. So like if I were to sell like a product and I do like 3 tiers, and I really want to make a lot of money, I do like a tiered thing like this. And like the price anchor has to be at least like 10 or 20 times more. How many people are in your mastermind meetup and what's the vibe? We usually have about 20 people live that come in, but a lot of people submit questions too. Most people just listen, so there's like way more listeners than there are like live people, because the mastermind's on Saturdays at 3 p.m. PST, and you just jump in the Discord server with a tier 3 subscription and you just join in. And it's very chill, like anybody can talk. We oftentimes are like looking for people to talk. There's about 75 episodes now, and they're all like at least 2 hours long. We just like heavy duty consulting for different kinds of businesses, whether it be like creator businesses or like there's a lot of local people in there, a lot of people that make a lot of money from local stuff. Just people like sharing like their experiences and talking and stuff, and then like helping with it. Yeah, the tier 2s you can just listen. You can listen to anything. You have access to everything. Tinder has a $500 a month tier. Oh, for what? I didn't know that. That's cool. It's on the Discord. Yeah, you just join the Discord. I'm not too sure. Like, the dating app tier stuff is some things I'm recently doing some research into, because I have an adjacent client that's relevant to that, and so I'm kind of interested in like how people spend money on dating apps. That whole thing's like a little bit confusing to me, but sounds cool. Sounds like it works. Oh, hold on one second. The doorbell, and I don't think anyone's here, so I gotta go.
Oh, it's a Devon-Ash break. Okay, so what we do here is select all, fairly simple. Hit the auto. I'll bring up the levels to moderate levels. And then once that's saved, this is the long boring part. So there's about 420 images in this one folder. So we have to save images, select folder. We want photography, paintball, adrenaline, games. So this is game 1, PSD. And now we just let that go. I took a shower because it was time to. If I knew it was 4:20, then I would have let this process in the background, but here we are. Excuse me.
Performing men are often considered assholes, and that's a huge reason on why he self-isolates. This is because he sees the world in such a unique way that it's usually taken as an insult or personally by someone else, when really he's just pointing out reality from his perspective. Most people would rather be well-liked than successful, so it's their inauthenticity that keeps them below their greatest potential. And performing men are often considered assholes, and that's a huge reason on why he self-isolates. This is because he sees the world in such a unique way that it's usually taken as an insult or personally by someone else, when really he's just performing men are often
There's a vice president debate. That should be boring but entertaining as well. Let's see if PBD is doing that. It's raining pretty hard, and guess who cleaned his car? I did.
Go to market with full-scale production options. Our distributed manufacturing model brings you competitive.
No, Benny Johnson.
What? Huh? Could you say that again? Because I barely understood what you said. Nothing will remain. So the whole world will remain in China. What did I just watch? What was that? What, dude, why does JD Vance's face work so good on that Pittsburgh Steelers dude? What's that even from? Jerry, how do you do it? I don't know. It's the dark arts. We call it the dark arts. On this October 1st, the beautiful Tuesday Debate Mageddon with JD Vance and communist CCP assets. Wall. Very much looking forward to this debate. It's going to be, I'd like to say, a matter of wits and wills, but I just don't think so. I think that JD Vance is going to kick ass. Of course, we'll see. We'll see what they got up their sleeve. But man, they've been like downplaying this debate. This debate happens, and they've been downplaying it like crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Democrats are all over TV all day today, all day yesterday, being like, oh, you know, like JD Vance didn't go to Yale, and he is a lawyer, and he's very smart. And so I don't know exactly what the strategy is going to be. Is the strategy going to be that JD Vance is now going to overperform? Is the strategy going to be to have the reporters sicked on Vance so that Tim Walz doesn't even have to do anything? Expect that. And we have 2 reporters from CBS. Why do we need 2 reporters from CBS? Why? Now, apparently they're not going to fact check during the debate. They're not going to do live fact checking during the debate. That's been the promise. So we'll wait and see. I'll believe it when I see it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one heck of a show for you tonight. We got the great Laura Trump, who will be joining the program in just a moment, live from Trump Tower. We even have the great ALX executive producer live inside of Trump Tower. He's in the war room today. It's going to be awesome. We'll see if ALX can join us. We have the extremely sharp Jim Jordan on. We're going to be talking to us about the very dangerous and scary connections that Tim Walz has that they are investigating right now inside of the House of Representatives with the Communist Chinese Party. And we have on a wonderful member of Congress who's going to be able to speak about the assassination attempts on President Trump's life. President Trump will be going back to Butler this weekend. Expect us to be live for that. We're working on some very special coverage of that right now. But tonight is Debate Mageddon. We got JD Vance, Senator from Ohio, and you got the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. We've been covering Tim Walz's creepy background and past, and we want to go more into that because we've had some very shocking revelations today about what a dirty liar Tim Walz is. Of all places, CNN coming out with the reports about how Tim Walz is a filthy liar. Apparently, Tim Walz lied about where he was during the Tiananmen Square massacre, where the communist authoritarian government of China just mowed over all of the people that were fighting for democracy and it slaughtered them. Tim Walz said he was in China, and that proved not to be true. Another Tim Walz lie. We're going to stack them all up on this program. But first, I wanted to throw to something that the president just tweeted. President Trump, we love the fact that Donald Trump is back on Twitter, all right? But he doesn't post the way that he used to, okay? Mean tweets are not exactly the same as they used to be. So when President Trump posts, it's like something of great authority. Trump used to be ubiquitous on Twitter and posting a lot. Now he posts everything on Truth Social, and he tweets only sparsely. And he tweeted something today about J.D. Vance. And he tweeted an incredible video. And we've talked so much about Tim Walz, and we go on the attack so much in this program. And it's something that our friend Vivek is constantly reminding me of. Actually, very annoying me reminding me of all the time, which is we need to present a positivist future for this movement, and we need to tell stories about ourselves and what we want to do. The Republican Party has been the party of no, has been a party of no vision, no plan, just saying no, just being like the grumpy old men. There's been no actual vision or story told. We've been setting about just telling as good of a story as we possibly can about the things as best that we can do in our current capacity. But I tell you, man, the Trump campaign with this Trump tweet put out a beautiful piece on J.D. Vance, where he comes from. So we want to start today by just letting that sort of breathe and setting the scene for who J.D. Vance is. Fresh off the presses, directly from President Trump, here is Vice President.
A lot of people feel like the American dream is further and further away. And if you work hard and play by the rules, it's a little bit harder to get ahead. It's a little bit harder to support a family, a little bit harder to buy a home. The world I grew up in was one where I think for the first time really in American history, my parents' generation did not expect their children to necessarily have a better life than they did. And you saw that in all kinds of different ways, but there was this sense growing up in Middletown in the 1990s that a lot of people didn't expect the future to be better than the past, and that's a really unique and a really tragic thing. Jobs started to disappear from that community, drugs started to move in, hopelessness started to move in, and so a lot of people who really knew that the future would be better than the past actually found a world that was a lot more difficult and a lot more challenging. I wrote Hillbilly Elegy because I wanted to give people a sense of what it was like to live in a community like mine. I didn't think a whole lot of stories were told about white working class Americans. I didn't think a lot of stories were told about people who were struggling with some of the problems we were struggling with, joblessness, drug addiction, and so forth. And I thought that I could tell a story that would make people understand my family a little bit better, and maybe in the process, understand the struggles of a lot of families. I come from the places that I want to represent, and what we need is to stop sending people that are of the DC swamp. We need to send people who are of the places they aim to represent. I want to fight for the people that I come from.
The American media has been laundering foreign disinformation. It is disgusting. Instead of talking about the crises in our country, they try to silence the people who are experiencing them. Who do you want answering the phone? Do you want a person who hides from the friendly American media, or do you want a person who takes a bullet to the head and stands up and says, fight, fight, fight? Kamala Harris, you ought to have respect enough for your own people to enforce their border laws and listen to them. Listen to them when they complain about it. Don't pretend they're bad people. We're not bad people for loving this country. You're a bad person for doing this to the country in the first place.
Dude, that's a good ad. That's a very chilling ad. This is something that obviously lets you see that JD Vance is going to be one of the carriers of the flame of the MAGA movement for a very, very long time. That he's not somebody to be at. And again, I look forward. I mean, you got the cover image of this live has Tim Wall's glittery glove on. We spent all morning like talking about strange little. I'm Tim Wall. I'm so excited, so exciting, and dance kick moves that Tim Wall does. That's super creepy. And we're gonna go in. We're gonna not pull our punches with Tim Walz, believe that. But a little bit of credit where credit is due for JD Vance. This guy is living truly the American story. I hope against hope that he calls out Tim Walz for being a dirty communist. Tim Walz is someone who has been now identified as a person who's of interest, let's just say, for Communist Party influence. The guy's been to China 30 times, honeymooned in China. He lied about where he was during Tiananmen Square. Doesn't make any sense. The whole thing is a complete disaster. I hope he calls him out on stolen valor, because he did engage in stolen valor. He lied about his rank. He lied about where he was during the war in Iraq. This guy's a filthy liar, man. This is why they get along. Or maybe Kamala just chose him because China promised if you put in our pawn as president, or as vice president, Kamala Harris in charge, effectively president, then we'll make sure that everything gets rigged for you. Who knows? I mean, we're not sure. Here's what we are sure. The JD Vance has a crystal clear, rings like a bell capacity to actually make these points. This is a clip that of JD Vance effectively on his way to this debate today. They're going to be doing this debate in New York. And I watched this clip, and it's like a 30-second clip, and you're like, dude, this guy is functioning with 50 IQ points on on Tim Walz. He's going to be able to make this, like, JD Vance makes a point. This is why they have to try and meme JD Vance or try and, like, call him weird or whatever, because they know they can't win the debates fair and square. They know they can't win inside of the landscape of actual ideas when they're fairly presented. Check this out. This clip really impressed me.
Who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy. This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy. and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
JD Vance, again, it rings like it doesn't have the doesn't have the same sort of swagger in the way that Donald Trump does it, but that's okay. This actually works great. You don't want somebody to, no one can out Trump. But it's good, it's crisp, it's clean. JD Vance's last debate performance was really sharp. He was debating this dude named Tim Ryan, who's kind of like squishy, cucky Democrat in Ohio, who's running against him. And this debate was happening in 2022. I believe this would have been the year 2022. So this was not too long ago. Check it.
We have a.
Hold on, JD.
No, this is disgusting.
I'd like to get
here's
one more.
exactly what happens when the media and people like Tim Ryan accuse me of engaging the great replacement theory. I'll tell you exactly what happens, Tim. What happens is that my own children, my biracial children, get attacked by scumbags online and in person because you are so desperate for political power that you'll accuse me, the father of 3 beautiful biracial babies, of engaging in racism. We are sick of it. You can believe in a border without being a racist. You can believe in the country without being a racist. And this just shows how desperate this guy is for political power. I know you've been in office for 20 years, Tim, and I know it's a sweet gig, but you're so desperate not to have a real job that you'll slander me and slander my family. It's disgraceful.
Yo. That's kind of Trump-like, actually. It's kind of Trump-like. I mean, all he needs to do is say, you'd be in jail at the end of that, and he'd be good. And it was like, he'd be like, oh wow, hey, just get in the tanning bed, and yo, you are on your way. This is something that we've been witnessing from JD Vance. Now, let's try with. Do we know JD Vance personally? He's been on the show, and that's great. But the people who vouch safe for JD Vance, guys like Donald Trump, guys like Charlie Kirk, guys like Tucker, they were all behind the scenes advocating. Really awesome dudes like David Sachs, who is one of those billionaires in San Francisco that threw Donald Trump a fundraiser in the heart of San Francisco, raised like $12 million for Trump in the middle of downtown San Francisco. Those guys are all like big time Team JD, and there's a reason for that. With all of the people we like, we're advocating for one guy to be vice president. There's a reason. I think it's going to become clear tonight. But it has been clear over the last couple of weeks. Kamala Harris, without a single vote, without winning a single primary, without getting, of course, winning any states, without doing any debates, without doing any interviews, became the Democrat Party nominee. Okay? They threw all of the votes, 15 million Democrats, for Joe Biden primary, and tossed them directly into a furnace, trash compactor in the middle of Volcano. They threw out Joe Biden. These people will do anything for power. This is their last demonic scream, desperate attempt to seize power or keep power. So be it. And in the midst of that, JD Vance did something that I will always say, man, good on you. Bro walked right up to Kamala Harris's plane when it was sort of this phenomenon, like Kamala Harris wasn't doing interviews. Bro walks right up to Kamala Harris's plane and said, listen, she won't talk to you. Speaking to a press board, I'll talk to you. Oh, I'm sorry, boys. Did we lose that clip? Oh, it's a throat. All right, Eric's telling me it's a throat. No problem. Let's throw to it. Let's go. Bro, this is an alpha move. Danny, can you grab me that photo? Grab me that photo of them all like laughing and walking like back like Leonardo DiCaprio from the plane. Like, can you grab me that photo? It's like JD Vance did the meme. Bro did the meme. He's gone hard at Tim Walz before. JD Vance has said Tim Walz is a scumbag, and that Tim Walz abandoned his battalion, his National Guard group, right before they deployed. He did this for political power. He lied about his rank. He lied about what he did during the global war on terror. He lied about going to Iraq and Afghanistan. He allowed Nancy Pelosi to call him an Afghanistan war veteran during multiple events. He got fake awards. And again, he like declared himself a higher rank than he actually was in the military. Guy is a dirty liar, and JD Vance calling him out as somebody who actually did serve in the Marines, signed up, went to Iraq, actually fought the enemy, ran towards the gunfire. Dude, I hope they bring it up. I really do. This is the last time that JD Vance called out Tim Walz to his face.
Now look, what really bothers me about Tim Walz, it's not even the positions that he's taken, though certainly he has been a far left radical. You know what really bothers me about Tim Walz as a Marine who served his country in uniform? When the United States Marine Corps, when the United States of America asked me to go to Iraq to serve my country, I did it. I did what they asked me to do it, and I did it honorably, and I'm very proud of that service. When Tim Walz was asked by his country to go to Iraq, you know what he did? He dropped out of the Army and allowed his unit to go without him, a fact that he's been criticized for aggressively by a lot of the people that he served with. I think it's shameful to prepare your unit to go to Iraq, to make a promise that you're going to follow through, and then to drop out right before you actually have to go. I also think it's dishonest. Something, again, if you guys ever get an opportunity to ask Tim Walz or Kamala Harris some questions, he made this interesting comment that the Kamala Harris campaign put out there, and I bet they're regretting they put it out there now, because he said that and he was making a point about gun control, he said we shouldn't allow weapons that I used in war to be on America's streets. Well, I wonder, Tim Walz, when were you ever in war? What was this weapon that you carried into war, given that you abandoned your unit right before they went to Iraq, and he has not spent a day in a combat zone? What bothers me about Tim Walz is the stolen valor garbage. Do not pretend to be something that you're not. And if he wants to criticize me for getting an Ivy League education, I'm proud of the fact that my mamaw supported me, that I was able to make something of myself. I'd be ashamed if I was him and I lied about my military service like he did.
Dude, bro. If it comes down to it, if they actually throw down on set, like if it actually comes down to it, that's gonna shatter glass jaw, man. That is a blow right there. You're not coming back from that haymaker. That is probably the most passionate that I've seen JD Vance on the trail, and I really hope we get that JD tonight. I think we're going to. Look at this. This is the energy. This is the photo I was asking. He did the meme. Look at him. This is them walking back from Kamala Harris's little plane that she's renting right now, Air Force 2, soon to be JD Vance's plane. We're going to see this shot a lot as JD Vance gets an Air Force 2 himself in just 35 days. Whoa! Somebody who is, of course, working day and night to make that happen is great. Laura Trump joins the show. We are excited, Laura. Here we are back again. Debate. We're back. It's debate night. You know JD Vance. He's a very different style, obviously, than your father-in-law, but it's almost it's like it's scary in like a different shade. I think that his reports of Walz being quite nervous has a lot of merit to them. JD Vance has got to have 50 IQ points.
Oh, at least. I mean, and that's on the low end. Yeah, and I mean, the word is directly from CNN, I think, the folks that they have talked to in the Walz camp are basically saying, yeah, he's just going to kind of like dodge questions. He realizes he doesn't have to answer every question. Vinny, that's what we've seen from this entire ticket. Kamala Harris has never once answered directly or succinctly or coherently in any manner any question she's been asked. She tap dances around. There's a lot of jazz hands, smoke and mirrors, opportunity, economy, lawns are looking good and a middle class family and all the nonsense, and we've never gotten one solid answer from her. And I would be nervous if I were Tim Walz too, because they are trying to sell the American people the disaster that we've all just lived through over the past 4 years. They're trying to sell the American people that they should turn the page. You can't turn the page when you wrote the book. The way you turn the page and the way you move forward is with different, and you couldn't be more different than JD Vance and Donald Trump. And so I would be pretty nervous if I was Tim Walz too. I'm certainly ready. I've got the popcorn popped and I'm ready to go.
Oh man, the turn the page. You just triggered me. That Tim Walz's wife talking about turning the page. Can we load that as a play beside?
Oh,
that's the creepiest. That's I've never seen crazy eyes like that. I've never, and I went to a state school, and I've never seen crazy eyes like Tim Walz's wife. Man, it's crazy. We'll load it up and play it beside. We played it this morning. It's the worst. It makes Hillary Clinton look like Princess Diana. It really does. She is tough, man. Okay, so you said you're handicapping JD Vance. Now, this is kind of interesting because both of these guys are relatively unknown quantities, right? The governor of Minnesota, not typically that big of a national position, and JD Vance has only recently sort of been baptized into the political sphere. And so I think America's going to see something quite new tonight. Quite interesting.
But the difference, Benny, I think, is that you've actually seen JD Vance out there on the campaign trail quite a bit, taking questions from hostile reporters. Look at all the interviews that he's done. He has been well vetted, to a certain extent by the hostile mainstream media. And so people have gotten to know JD Vance to a certain extent. Tim Walz is obviously taking a page out of the basement playbook of course, starting with Joe Biden, Kamala Harris now. He really hasn't been out there quite as much. So there is a lot of pressure on him tonight. But you're right. I think what the American people are going to have an opportunity to do is get to know both of these men and get to hear about their positions. If we get one again from Tim Walz, we'll see what we get from him tonight. But certainly JD Vance has this great thing on his side, and it's called 4 years of Donald Trump actually being president. A great record that they are running on their side of the ticket. And I just think that whenever you're going to have to answer for Kamala Harris and say, why is it that she says she's going to do things differently? Why hasn't she done anything in the past 3.5 years? Why would we want to go back and do the same things that we're dealing with right now? Take a look around. Look at the Middle East. Look at our economy. Look at our southern border. And you tell me whether things are moving in the right direction. So I don't know how he answers all of those questions, but I do think that when we come out of tonight, the American people will probably have a clearer picture than ever, if it isn't already crystal clear to them, that you have to vote for Donald Trump and JD Vance in this election.
Bro has done one interview. He did this one CNN, emotional, fluffy support mascot animal interview with Kamala Harris, and he was asked one combative question by Dana Bash, and his answer was, "Me no understand English."
Yeah,
right?
He didn't answer it, and he didn't.
He said, "I speak up."
And by the way, Benny, if he tries to pull that tonight and say, "Oh, this Yale educated, Ivy League educated, JD Vance is trying to overtalk me," excuse me, we want people who can actually talk and can actually say things to the American people and our adversaries and our allies around the world. So if that's the card he's going to pull, this kind of podunk, "Oh, I'm just from Minnesota" kind of guy, that's not going to play with the American people. I think that's going to be a bit of a tough sell.
Yes. Just really quickly, have you, and I know that you're co-chair of the RNC, so you know all the internal operations, you're behind the scenes for all this stuff. Is there any defense that has been practiced by the debate team for Tim Walz's jazz hands?
And he actually may pull out literal jazz hands, because that's how far gone things have become. They have no answers for things, and it really has been an effort of the smoke and mirrors and really jazz hands. If he gets nervous, maybe he just does a dance. I don't know what to expect. I can tell you, if that happens, JD Vance will be prepared to deal directly with it, and just you wait.
Can you give us a little insight? This is always my favorite question. A little insight into how the preparation has gone for JD Vance. We played a clip previously in the program of member of Congress. Danny, remind me of his name. Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer. He's been obviously coaching JD Vance. Can you give us any kind of background on how the debate prep's gone?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Tom Emmer is a perfect person. He's from Minnesota. He understands the people of the state, and he's talked with a lot of them about their problems with the governor, Tim Walz, and where all of his, all of his issues lie, and maybe where he's vulnerable. And so that's been, I think, a point of focus. You have to make sure you call these people out. And look, we can talk about Kamala Harris all day, but I think part of the strategy truly is to expose Tim Walz for how radical he is, for some of the crazy things that he's done and that he's said. And I think that, whenever people get to know him a little bit more, it's going to be very obvious that this cannot be a guy who's a heartbeat away from becoming president of the United States as vice president. It's a very scary prospect. And so as much as we expect that the CBS moderators, it'll be another, probably a 3-on-1 situation like we saw with the ABC News debate, I think what JD has prepared to do is really to talk about the things that the moderators probably should be, but we expect they likely won't, which is exactly what we saw in that ABC News debate. So he's ready to go. He's ready to call Tim Walz out. He's ready to call out Kamala Harris, and he's ready to actually ask questions of Tim Walz if the moderators themselves don't do it.
So no live fact checking. Is this a request from the campaign? Do you have to do this now, like with every interview? Like, are you going to just spend the entire time yelling and arguing? And to your earlier point, JD Vance did that wonderfully on CNN with Dana Bash 2 weeks ago, saying, "Are you here to ask me a question or to yell at me the entire time?" It must be such an annoying position for you to be in.
Well, and it's so bad for the American people who are trying to actually learn something from these debates. That was really the tragedy, I think, with that ABC News debate, which is that no one walked away from that really understanding any position from either candidate that they didn't already know going into the debate. And that's what those are supposed to be about. It should showcase the people and their policy platforms and what it is they want to do for this country. But instead, it was fact-checking and some erroneous fact-checking at that. And that's really sad, because this is the opportunity, and maybe the only opportunity, that some people will really get to see these candidates. So I'm actually happy with that. I think that's a great thing. But I do think that you'll probably hear, if Tim Walz tries to pull fast, from JD Vance himself fact-checking, and that's okay with us.
Yeah, it's something that I don't want to talk about the past, but we can't get over on this program. We've done 90 straight minutes on this one short clip of David Muir fact-checking if Donald Trump was being sarcastic or not. Like, what the F is wrong with you, bro? Like, in what universe? Like, who anointed you, like, king of all the universe? You can see someone's sarcasm. What the hell is wrong with these people? That really happened in this country.
Well,
A dude said, "I didn't think you were being sarcastic enough," like, with a comment to your father.
But the credibility of all of these, mainstream media, legacy media outlets is at an all-time low. And that's really sad, Benny, for our country. There once upon a time, you could trust these people, and they were going to deliver the facts, and they were going to present things in a fair way. And obviously, you look at how much time and what percentage of their coverage is positive for the Democrats and negative for the Republicans, and it tells you all you need to know. So obviously, no surprise that David Muir is trying to garner how sarcastic or wasn't sarcastic enough. It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And again, it's just so sad. It doesn't have to be this way.
That's right.
We can tune into the Benny Show, and it doesn't have to be that way.
I would love to actually ask a real question. This is something that broke today, and we haven't really gotten a chance to cover it during this live, and so maybe we can cover it right here together. Tim Walz lying about where he was during Tiananmen Square was a strange thing to lie about. Here from CNN, who's been doing quite a bit of fact-checking, actually, on Kamala Harris and on Tim Walz, strangely enough. Walz claims he was in Hong Kong during Tiananmen Square protests, but newspaper reports say he was teaching in Nebraska. Why would you lie about something like that? Except for the fact that you're slowly morphing into Mao Zedong.
years in
Well,
the
what
times
is his
of isolation.
obsession
Now, I'm not
with the
against
Chinese
connections. I'm not
Communist Party?
against
Why is
networking.
he
I'm not
visiting
against any of
China
those
so
things.
much?
But what I'm saying to you is that
What is the
sometimes it's
who
so
would
necessary
go
for
to
you to be
China as
alone
much as Tim
to
Walz has?
understand who
And
you
yeah,
are. So
why
after
would you
the
lie
isolation,
about that in
the secrets are
particular?
revealed. What am I
Maybe we'll
referring
get
to?
a question
The ability to
about
have.
that this
We
evening.
are so
I wouldn't hold
complex
my
as
breath
people.
on it.
We don't
But
even know
all
what
of
we have.
these
All
things
organs.
kind of come
We
up,
don't
and
even
you
use
say,
all of our brain.
who is this
So
person?
I'm
And
convinced that
what
there's
is
so much
the
to us.
Chinese
There's a
obsession?
depth
I
that
think
we're
they,
not
he
tapped
like
into.
honeymooned in
You and me.
China, and
So as
all
we
of
get
the
along, we can
strange,
tap into who we really
kind
are.
of
We can reach our higher
connections
self.
there.
We
It
can go to
certainly
that
doesn't
next
sit
level.
well with the
So
American people.
isolation is
And at a
necessary
time
for
like
you to
right now, when
understand that
America
distance, and
is
you
at a
can't get
weakened
that with
state,
everybody talking
when
to
it's
you.
very clear
You
to
can't
anyone
get
who's
that.
been paying attention that the Chinese are
After
desperate to take
isolation.
over as the superpower of the world. They have been playing chess, and we've been playing checkers over here in America. Don't think for a second that there are any coincidences. Don't think for a second that oops, we floated the balloon over all the military bases. Oh, our bad. All of these things are strategic, and the idea that you could have a guy like Tim Walz who has some weird and sick obsession with China and the Chinese people and is lying about being there even at times he wasn't. I don't know. I think that's it's a little uncomfortable for the average American.
So Jim Jordan will be joining the program in just a moment, but I would love to just ask you really quickly, since you made these points about China, and now there's a congressional investigation. Apparently the DHS is really creeped out at how much Tim Walz loves China, and there's some nefarious information that's being subpoenaed by Congress. This has got to be a question tonight, right? Like this must be a question about Tim Walz's very odd connection to the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, I mean, if he were Republican, I'm sure it would be, but it does seem like all the legacy media tries to do is cover and run cover for the Democrats. But yeah, it's a real question, and it's a real concern for the American people. I mean, we seem to have been infiltrated in so many ways. You have China buying up so much land in this country, conveniently located around strategic military bases and the like. It's a really scary prospect that. Not only are we on the brink of World War III, look at the Middle East, look at what's going on over there, but China has seen what a weakened state the United States is in right now. And I'll tell you, you think about China linking up with Iran, with maybe Russia, that is an axis of evil that this world cannot afford to see happen. We know Iran has been trying to infiltrate this election and try to influence this election. They very clearly want to see Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for some reason in the White House. And so all of it is very scary. We're 35 days away from this election. And Benny, we talk all the time about the fact that this is the most consequential and critical election of any of our lifetimes. You hear things like this, and it really does make you take a breath and say, oh my God, what if there's validity to anything nefarious here? It's very scary, and I'm glad at least people are taking it seriously enough to investigate it.
Just really quick, since you dropped the Iran name bomb, for lack of a better adjective.
Yeah.
Why does it take our intelligence agencies so long to brief your father-in-law about the assassination squads that are out there?
Isn't it a great question? I wish I had a good answer to that. But all of it is very upsetting and unsettling. And you can read into that a lot of different ways, Benny. What I'll say is that I'm glad that God has been on Donald Trump's side twice now. And I will say that I believe that that's probably the only reason that he's still alive. And I don't know any two ways about it, because the really scary nature of all of this and how close our country has come twice now to complete disaster. And I think about what that would mean for our country and the world, let alone obviously my family. Very, very frightening. And I wish I could answer that question for you, but I cannot.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you can answer this question. I have a feeling you can. The polls are back up. Look at that. Real Clear Politics saying, not so fast. A lot of great polls this week. What do we expect to see in the next 30 days? Laura, you are at the helm of the RNC.
Yeah, there's some real 2016 energy going on out there right now, Benny. I'll tell you that. The feeling I have when I travel the country and when I talk to people, and the most unlikely of people who I assume are coming up to me to say something really nasty to me, and they're like, Trump 2024. It's shocking to me, but it really is reminiscent of 2016. And we know how Donald Trump performs in the polls. We know that he always is so far ahead of what the polls reflect in this country. And so I'm just telling you, I am feeling like it is going to be such a punch in the face and a punch in the gut to the Democrats on November 5th when they see how red that map is. But it only becomes that red if everybody gets out and votes. And I want everybody to go vote early, get your vote banked, and then take people every single day to vote up until election day. That is how we're going to swamp the vote. That is how we're going to make it too big to rig. That is how we're going to bed early on election night, knowing Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. Get ready for these polls to look even better. I'm telling you, after tonight, I think we're going to be in great shape, but you can't take anything for granted. We're going to play like we're behind all the way to the last second of the game, obviously.
Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, President Trump was handing out, obviously helping people with aid. I get a final question about that. I know you're from North Carolina. Many thought that you might run for office in North Carolina. Who knows what the future will hold? But I know you know the Asheville area well, and some of the most beautiful, warmest, and kindest-hearted people there. Just maybe a word from the campaign as to what's happening in that part of the country right now that people are suffering.
I mean, I'm heartbroken to see what's going on in North Carolina. It's so tragic, and it's so much worse, I think, than anyone ever anticipated. I'm glad to hear that Joe Biden will finally be making a trip there. I hope that there's some relief brought to people. I hope that the rescue efforts continue to be successful, but sadly we've continued to see that death toll rise. And so, I know that Donald Trump wants to visit as well. I will be in Georgia tomorrow with a group of women. We're going to be taking 50,000 pounds of food donated by Goya to a food bank there. So we're trying to help out wherever we can and however we can. And I would encourage everybody out there to do the same. Our fellow Americans need us, and this is certainly a time of need.
Things get really, really bad. Just change the state flag to the Ukrainian flag. Maybe people in Washington will pay attention.
Maybe they'll pay attention. Yeah, maybe they'll get
hundreds of billions
there.
of dollars. That's right.
Yeah.
Same for Lahaina in Maui, right? Same
right.
for any horribly devastated American community. Laura Trump, we have the Swamp the Vote website that Laura just name dropped here. Here's how you can help. This is swampthevoteusa.com. This is how you make sure that you are banking your vote. Laura, any other way that people can help out in the last few days that we got?
Oh, well, we have 200,000 people who are being trained and have been trained as poll watchers, poll workers, and legal experts. But we always want more because we need this to be a free, fair, and transparent election. We have to restore integrity in our electoral process. We know we can't rely on the other side of the aisle to do that. So protectthevote.com is the website. You can volunteer. We will train you. We'll tell you what to look out for in your area or anywhere in this country. Protectthevote.com. We always want more people on this team because this is the year we start turning it back around. And then let's get Donald Trump in that White House, and let's get one day of voting. Let's get voter ID across the country. Let's do paper ballots from now on. But we got to get through this one, Benny, so everybody can play a role. Everybody can come out and be a part of the team. Protectthevote.com. Please come join us.
Go. All right, baby. Hey, thank you so very much, Laura. Of course, everyone go follow Laura on X. Probably already are, but if not, head on over there. The beautiful Trump boat parade in the background here, and ready to vote. So there you go. Look at that. Oh, come on.
There it is.
Oh, that's a come on. That's a
boat parade coming up in South Florida, October 13th. Just throwing it out there. Anybody in the area, get your flags out. Let's go.
We're ready to go. We'll be there. Thank you, Laura. Godspeed.
You got it. Thank you.
Happy debate night. Joining the program now, a man who needs absolutely no introduction, but the native son of the great state of Ohio, a man who has made that state so very, very proud and is the king of oversight in the federal government, who can speak to us about some of these strange China ties with Tim Walz. Great chairman, Jim Jordan. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for being with us. Just real quickly, Ohio is going to stand strong tonight. Ohio, I think, is going to be a state that's made very, very proud tonight by JD Vance.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, JD's just an amazing story. I say it's the American story. Tim Walz says it's clear. I call it the American story. Humble at the beginning. Actually, a family was on public assistance. United States Marine, Ohio State grad, Yale Law School, successful business guy, and he's only 40. That is not weird. That is amazing. That is the American story. And you've seen JD in interview after interview going up against whoever. Mainstream media, left-wing press, it doesn't matter. He's going to engage, take the questions, and he prevails and he wins every single time. I think he'll do the same thing tonight, and I think he'll probably highlight Tim Walz's record. In that summer of 2020, what he allowed to happen in his state, in Minneapolis, what he did during COVID, set up the snitch lines. You could snitch on your rat on your neighbor, for goodness sake, if they were walking their dog without a mask or something stupid like that. I mean, so I think he'll point those things out, and I think he'll do a great job. And it's great to see these poll numbers where they're at today, how good President Trump is doing in these peaceful states.
Yes, I think it's only going to be getting better. Ohio plus 10 in a recent poll, recent internal Ohio poll. I'm sorry, you're not. Trump's not winning Ohio by 10 and Iowa by 18 and losing Wisconsin and Michigan. It's just not how the Midwest works.
I don't think so either. And the other thing is, if he wins Ohio by 10, I think Bernie Sabino is our next United States senator. I think he beats Jared Brown. So that's why if he won Ohio by 8.5 and 16, by 8.5 and 20, he wins it by 10. I think because Bernie's a good candidate. He's doing a good job running a good campaign. So, and that same dynamic will help us in the Senate race in Wisconsin, the Senate race in Michigan, the Senate race in Pennsylvania. So President Trump running strong like he is. And like Laura was saying, I was in Georgia 2 weeks ago. We're going to be in Wisconsin next week. You can feel it. You can feel it, Benny. You're talking to people. You're out and about. You're at different rallies and things. You can feel the energy out there for President Trump.
Yes. So your colleague Tom Emmer, who's in leadership, obviously, in the Republican caucus in the House, you know him well. He's been coaching J.D. Vance. Perhaps you could give some insight into how this debate prep's gone and what we can expect tonight. You say that he'll hit Tim Walz on the COVID lockdowns, on the insanity of the Antifa and BLM riots. Any more insight you can give us into that?
Well, I think that, no, I can't. Other than just, I think we're at the point in a campaign where it's, we have something we very seldom get. You have back-to-back administrations now running for the top job. So you had 4 years of President Trump. Now you had 4 years of Biden-Harris. Which was better? Do the comparison. Do the contrasting. And when you look at it, I always say we went from a secure border to no border. We went from safe streets to record crime, $2 gas to $4 gas, stable prices to record inflation. And then there's foreign policy. We went from a commander-in-chief and President Trump with projected strength, where Russia didn't go into Ukraine, where Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and the Houthis from Yemen didn't attack our best defense system. It didn't happen with Trump in the White House. But obviously all that stuff has happened, and today in a real way with Iran themselves launching ballistic missiles. So I think we're at that point in the campaign where it's like, let's get to the facts, let's get to the issues, let's do the direct comparison. I think JD has been doing a good job of pointing that out. I assume he's going to do the same thing tonight.
So something that your committees have been pointing out, and the government oversight committees has pointed out, it was a bombshell yesterday, that there are very strange ties to Tim Walz and the Communist Chinese Party. Could you expound on the subpoenas that have been sent to DHS and what they've shown?
Well, there's supposedly a whistleblower who's come to the oversight committee and talked to Chairman Comer. We have all the dozens of trips that Tim Walz went to, communist China. A number of times he's been there. And then there's just some of his overall, I think, his policies and everything else. But I think this whistleblower is important. Supposedly there in Department of Homeland Security. And I think Chairman Comer wants information regarding all of that. So I think we're in the inquiring phase where we're asking for the information and may subpoena the information. That'll be a call for the chairman. But I think all of it, just when you look at all of Tim Walz's record, I think it's just, that's what we're trying to get to. So the country fully knows what's going on here and what this individual's been involved with.
It's a little weird to honeymoon in China. There's a little strange. Bernie Sanders, I guess, honeymooned in the Soviet Union. It's also strange. Yeah. A little odd to get married on the anniversary of Tiananmen Square, so you have a date that you'll remember. And then to lie. This is from CNN, just an hour.
It can feel overwhelming keeping your family safe online. Google Family Link helps you create online boundaries for each of your kids. like setting how much screen time is too much screen time, helping make the internet safe for kids and teens.
Whether you fix roofs, move boxes, or light up the room, Google Local Services Ads makes it easy.
That one was like when you're ready to walk like that, he who cares the least wins in negotiations. That's crazy. I thought that wasn't actually gonna. That actually wasn't gonna go. Yeah, I think if he shared lost deals too, that'd be super sick. I'm obsessed with this kind of business content. If you have this kind of business content, please submit this business content in the stream submissions on Discord. Oh my god, I will love you. Riker is such a real one for finding this guy. Holy shit. I fucking love this thing. This is such good business though.
How much? 5,000.
It's the same dude, right? Isn't this the same guy as before? But see, the people that aren't, like, nobody watches shorts this way, right? So you'd never know that. So actually, this is so smart. You could literally use the same vendors. This is the same dude in all three of these. But you're never gonna know that because the average person will just see one of these and scroll by. That's so well done. I should wear spy glasses and door-to-door for shorts. No, please don't do that. Definitely get permission.
That's a lot, dude. Any paperwork? No paperwork. If it was Burma, no heat. Yes, but it's not. It's Mozambique for sure. Realistically, okay, I don't want to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 2,500 a carat, 3 carat 12.
Give it back.
No.
Give it back.
What? Take it back. Yes, go sell it retail.
I know it's probably not Burma no heat, but it could be.
Should we set it up in a way where it's
50%
like
is
a
like
little,
a massive
bit of a gamble?
Now we're talking.
Yeah. How about this? If it's glass filled,
return.
You take it back and you give me $100 for wasting my time. If it's regular heat, last price actually. No,
that's fair.
3,500. 3,500.
My little brother watches this guy on TikTok who basically does the same thing but for sneakers. You've got to link me that guy then.
Okay, that's actually fair.
If it's unheated Mozambique, 4,500 a carat.
Okay.
If it's unheated Burma, I'll give you the original 5K per carat.
6,000 a carat. So.
Yeah, Mazal. How much?
What happened? What? He went up from. He went up? Innovative Robert back for real, and the last time I subbed, I went to selling comics during COVID, got my MBA, and taught high school math. Happy to see you here. Yeah, we're back. We do 2 streams a week. I'm trying to go to 3, but it's hard just with the, like the full-time job and everything. Thanks, Redbearded. Good to see you, man. And thank you, Innovative Robert, for wanting to sub. Appreciate that. If it really wants to pay more, yeah. These are also really good, like look at this, like, thumbnail is like 1,900 per carat, and this is like 200. We're gonna push pretty hard, guys. Like, I think that I'm gonna go try to get 1 million subs this time. He does show transactions that don't go through. Oh, that's sick. I want to watch one. That's cool.
This is the most important question. How much do you want for them?
I was thinking of
19. No. Not even close to.
I think he detects that, like, he's like watching to see if this guy knows what he's talking about. You see that how this dude looks at him? Look at that facial expression, and he's like, no. He's actually like acknowledging that this dude is the expert, and he I think he'd already lose the negotiation, like right here.
Think of
19. No.
No, like question mark, like no. Now knows like he has the leverage for the rest of this negotiation.
Not even close to. See, the color of these isn't even that great of a match. Realistically, I'm at 200 a carat.
Oh shit!
It's a big difference. I know it's a big
90% cut, man.
difference. So 680 total.
What brought you back though? I thought you were boycotting. I mean, all the stuff I was boycotting is gone. It's all moved to Kick now, and I feel like I can contribute more back. I think we need a good show about business on on Twitch and on YouTube. So I made one. Or I'm trying to make one. It's not successful yet. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Just to make more the
his body language is so weak, dude. This guy, like you could He might as well ask for his car too. Like he just negotiate this guy's entire life out from under him.
Would you do 800?
How much? 800 total, you're saying? 800.
And this dude goes down from 6,460 to 800 in one in one step. Holy fuck. Good lord.
Divided by 3.4. 235. All right, we'll make it 750. Easy.
And this guy has the balls to negotiate him further than that. He's just gonna say
First time
okay.
doing business.
Okay, first time. Maybe we'll come back. So,
Sure. All right, cool.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ouch. Annihilated. Yeah. And like he always retains the cost on his side, like he knows when he's making money or not. This is a good negotiator. He understands completely like when he's making money and when he's not. He knows his minimum every time. If you want to be good on a negotiation, you always have to know your minimum. Like I don't make money over this price, so like this is where I'm going. So like he's probably set a number in his head where it's like if it's 20 or 30% of like I'm gonna make this amount of margin on this, like 20-30% on margin, because margins on this kind of stuff is often pretty low. And if your margins are too low, like he won't go below like 20 or 30%, whatever his margin is, and then it's just like, yeah, fuck you, like you can walk, like I know my numbers. So much of negotiation is just like knowing your numbers.
My buddy Farzad just had a call for a 5-carat purple sapphire. Let's see if I can sell him this thing. What up? Yo, 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 yo.
Yeah, what's up?
All right.
You got that 5-carat?
5-carat 11. No heat. It's actually a color change. It's like pretty cool. I can open that for you.
I got it. Ooh, I think this might work for the client.
Think so?
What a color.
It does have some inclusions.
Let's see.
You're looking at it like a diamond dealer. You're a diamond dealer. This is a colored stone. You don't have to loop it. Just look at it with your eyes. It looks nice.
What are you asking for this?
1,000 carat.
1,000 carat. Okay, can I take it on consignment and show my client really fast?
Sure. No worries.
If it sells, I will write you a check by next week.
No mazal yet. But hopefully, part two.
That's crazy. So I think he can take it. They do consignment, so he doesn't even get like he isn't even sure that stuff will sell. It's just if the client likes it. Not makes sense though. It's like if I don't like it, like it's ultimately the customer, right? Crazy. There's so many, like this is one of those examples of content creation where it's like he has I'd say like 4 or 5 consistent formulas that make up his whole channel. So it's like this is what so some of them are like this one, which is like this is a crazy diamond, or this is like what like a $250,000 dollar diamond is, or like and then he has the negotiation thing, and then he has real or fake. We have a bunch of those, and like the negotiation is what carries it. Very interesting. Like it's like a super good channel. Doesn't this kind of content get old really fast? He's not watching it like you can't think of content creation like this dude is not doing this to have consistent followers that watch every one of his videos. This dude is doing this to get really, really high in the TikTok and the YouTube short algorithm to pull in people, and probably like he probably has like some call to action, no? Like, so
how much?
Like, what's he selling? I always ask this question. He has no description.
How much are you
for his
So how much are you asking?
That blows my fucking mind. So, like, does he have a call to action anywhere? Here we go. There it is. He sells the gems on a website. So, his funnel is super simple, right? He's pushing... We can literally just... His funnel is high amounts of... Like, so... This is... Oh, God. Oh, this is so interesting. Okay. You don't have to build authority. Like, if you're driving large enough people into the top of your funnel and your bottom funnel is just like selling gems, he just has to have enough people to go through here. Also, his margins are fucking crazy. Like, this is like $2,000 for this diamond tennis bracelet, sold out, by the way. How much do you think it cost him to actually get this? So his entire this dude is like content creation done right. His entire front here, like, sure, he's making good amounts of
How
money.
much are you asking for it?
On
So how much
his,
are you...
on his videos, like, just this is like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but the real money is coming in from his sales. Like, even when he does long form, he kills it. So it's like the shorts are probably driving people to the website, and then the funnel, the bot funnel, is just these gems. So he doesn't have to create, like, I think way too many content creators think like, oh, I have to create content that gets people coming back over and over and over again. But this dude just has to get you down the funnel once to buy gems from him. So he doesn't have to build that kind of authority. A lot of people are kind of like baked into that idea that like, oh, like Twitch streamer or YouTuber, like you've got to come back. But that's only the case if you're monetized by ad revenue. And I contend a lot of the time that ad revenue, like just making money off of ad revenue, or like strictly making money off of your consumers, is sort of a bad business model. Because if you're a person who's just making money off of your viewers, or you're just making money off of YouTube paying you, you're totally at the mercy of the algorithm. You're totally at the mercy of like whether your content gets served or not. But if you're one of these, like if you're one of these people, you're gonna see all of these businesses like this. Think about how much inbound you get off of like 30 million views. And then look at this, like check out my store for a fire gem candle. I put a real gem in every candle. And so he just like hypes this up. I love the candle I got my sapphire in my candle last week. This is good funnel marketing, man. This is like pro business funnel marketing. Very, very smart. Very, very smart. Big fan. Big fan. Love this content. I'm not even through like half of Riker's shit that he linked.
What it's like to own a viral cookie shop. I did not think I would still be saying this over a year later, but we have a line up the street every time we open the doors. Doors open at 8, so the mad dash in the morning is to get everything restocked and ready. The bakery is only 41 square meters small, so that means that we need to bring in new packaging and ingredients every single day. Things get a little bit crazy trying to keep everything baking in the oven and then restocking as we go. So it's a bit of a mad dash, weighing out the cookies, then putting them in the freezer, putting them in the oven, and then as soon as they come out of the oven, we're going to top them with their toppings and then put them straight in the case to sell. We do not stop baking for the entire day. Like the ovens do not turn off. We're just constantly rotating the trays of unbaked cookies into baked cookies and then taking those out, putting new cookies in. Every 13 minutes we have over 100 cookies come out of the oven. So by midday we've baked about 1,000 cookies and we keep going until we close that day.
Bro, I went to a cookie spot in Seattle that was like these highly custom cookies. Number one, the margins are freaking insane, and number two, the cookies are so fucking good. Like, well, that's what I'm always curious with these contents. But I think like, oh, this person has one video, that's it. No, that's not right. There's no way that's right. Wait, no, she has all kinds of shit. You're gonna find when we go through these. I'm cursed by this one day a year that like I think some of the best forms of businesses are businesses that do this. You talk about your kind of daily life and how cool it is to run this business, and you just make good content, and then you drive people to that content. And like I guarantee you this chick is huge on TikTok. Where's her TikTok? Because TikTok is the TikTok is the masters of local marketing. So what TikTok is, and if she's smart, she has location on here, or she's like she's got her like location tracking on in her settings, so that when you are near this, like TikTok is so good that when you're near this person's bakery house, you will literally get served this content. So a surprising amount of local people, like a lot of people are like, oh, she's doing this for online sales. But the reason she has a line out the door every time she opens, like she said, is because of TikTok. TikTok can drive a crazy amount of people to your shop. It's actually insane how good their local targeting is. A lot of people don't know this. This is something that YouTube doesn't know about, or that YouTube doesn't do. For whatever reason, TikTok local advertising is better than any other platform's local advertising I've ever seen. We've used it so successfully to work with our clients in local areas. Like, we've seen entire businesses go from like 0 people through the door to like literally out the door crazy out the door, just like like a ton of customers just because of TikTok local marketing. And all you have to do is you set it in your local settings, and then you can also use TikTok for Business, and you can run ads locally against the shit that you're doing. So on top of the algorithm and the views they're getting, you can also run ads against it locally and get it to show up during ads. So they get it organically and they get it on ads. It's so fucking crazy. And on top of that, you can use your own UGC as ads on TikTok to push through. So it's like fucking crazy good. And so her thing is a cookbook, right? So she's selling online baking master classes. Is she selling can you order the cookies for themselves? Yeah, of course you can. Battle Brother, this girl is actually crushing it. Top tier entrepreneur. This is how I advocate all content creators should think. Like you should have a business first, and then content creation should be secondary. Insane.
Question relating to this. My friend is selling lighters and stuff, but tobacco is banned, etc., so promoting it directly is kinda hard. Right now, they're doing memes and maybe skits. How you'd approach it?
Lighters. So are they selling like custom lighters with like goods, like cool skins on them and stuff? Can you do this with any business? Like, could you use a game store? Yeah, sure. Like, look at Pink Gorilla Games. One of a friend of the channel, Cody. Pink Gorilla Games is like a perfect example of this. Live on Twitch like almost every day. Runs a game store and literally just streams running a game store. He gets like 1,500 concurrents-ish. And you can buy the stuff online. He does like he's like right out of Seattle. Yeah, his store is super good. He's like his Twitch name's DS Koopa. He like comes in the channel all the time. Super cool dude. Runs a gaming store, literally. Just him doing cool gaming store shit. Building stuff. Sometimes he does sometimes he sells stuff. Sometimes he like goes to conventions and stuff. He does like giveaways. Sometimes he like cleaning game cartridges and stuff. Like, it's just like people underestimate how interesting day in the life stuff is of jobs like this to people who don't do this shit. Like, you might see it as boring, but a lot of people see this as really cool. Okay, on the lighter thing, is just selling lighters? Yeah, link the website, because like I don't understand what the business model is. It sounds like TikTok's edges, their advanced algorithm. It's just TikTok is really good at local marketing, because like TikTok is super good at getting people through the door in local marketing, and people don't realize that. I don't know why they're so good at location-based marketing. Nobody else can do that like they can. Like, YouTube Shorts has the same user base as TikTok, but doesn't drive people to local shit. Like, if you, like, this has happened in Texas barbecue so often. If you are like a Texas barbecue joint, you go super viral on TikTok or something. This happened. I was telling a story a couple streams ago of this. Like, this happened on one of my favorite places to eat. There's a place in Texas, in Dallas. If you ever go out to this place, you got to go to this place called Hutchins. Hutchins is fucking amazing Texas barbecue. Like, it's like S tier shit. And I go to Hutchins pretty often. Amazing food. TikTok started doing a bunch of stuff on it. They started doing and a couple of like pretty big influencers started doing some like Hutchins like food review stuff, particularly one guy named Kevin Lee. And Hutchins is like out the door. This fucking guy, Keith Lee, excuse me. Look at that, 8 million views on Hutchins. Another person, Ashley. And like I can't go to this business anymore. I literally can't go there. I like it's so out the door all the time because of TikTok local marketing that I'm just fucked. Because this served up to like everybody. See how he does like hashtag Texas, and then like he targets the he turns she turns location tracking on, and then location tracking figures out where the video is and what it's about and serves people in that area. So you literally, like, if you're in the Dallas, Texas area, you'll get Keith's video organically, like whether he advertises it or not, because it's relevant to you. And it makes sense for TikTok because TikTok is going to incentivize you that kind of content because it wants to make you watch it. It wants to make you spend more time on it and stuff like that. So it's just great for all parties. If you're running a local business, you'd be crazy not to be creating content on TikTok. It's like so good. So yeah, it's possible for like everybody. That's the guy that allows you to shop at his store through his stream, though. He's definitely getting good prices. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Isn't the U.S. gonna ban TikTok? It like really depends on a lot of things. Like, I also don't like to think in that way. Like, I think you should kind of work as hard as you can and like sort of try to ignore external factors. It's unlikely that TikTok itself gets banned. It's possible that ByteDance has to relinquish their holdings of TikTok, which means they take the algorithm with them, and then maybe TikTok becomes dog shit. But it's also esoteric, man. It's like, it's just also esoteric. It's so hard to be able to tell what's going to happen that I would not make decisions based on that. Why don't small companies pay their influencers to review their food like it would? They do. That's UGC. That's user-generated content. Dude, user-generated content's like a crazy thing. Have you ever seen those like TikTokers posting income? Can we search for that? TikToker posting income. I actually want to go back to this website too. But like TikTok posting income. I don't know like how I'd search for this. There's a trend on TikTok where people just show how much money they're making off UGC. But I don't know if we're gonna find the right shit. UGC is really interesting.
Monthly retainers are like the golden ticket of UGC. I started the month of September off with $6,200 just in monthly retainers. Here's the breakdown of what they're paying me, what I'm doing for them, and what a retainer even is. Working with a brand on a monthly retainer basically just means that you are contracted to work with them on a month-to-month basis.
Okay, so real quick before this girl starts talking about this, for people that don't know what this is, UGC is user-generated content. And so these people with no following, but they're charismatic, they look decent, they make 30 to 60 second insert videos for a brand, they can get paid thousands of dollars, and you don't need any following to do this. You just need a relationship with the brand. This is a huge way for content creators to make money early, and they don't even consider it. They think that like everything is subscriptions and like how many followers you have. Our agency pays literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year in UGC alone. Just our agency.
Out to complete a certain amount of deliverables for them.
Just listen to her talk about it.
The month. It is guaranteed income that we can expect month to month. And as a full-time creator, we cannot always expect that guaranteed income month to month unless we have those monthly retainers. Each of my monthly retainers does look different. I'm going to break them down for you guys. Starting from smallest retainer to my largest retainer.
We talked about it today.
My first retainer, I'm sitting at $1,200. This one actually is very unique because they asked me to create 1 to 2 ads on a weekly basis for them every month.
So that literally means she's just taking 30 seconds and she's saying, hey, I'm using this product. Like, this is UGC, right? It's like, guys, I just had this Smoothie King smoothie. It was super good. I got strawberry and banana. It's my favorite. Activated recovery actually is what it's called. It's pretty good for you. It has like 40 grams of protein in it, so not too much sugar either. Just like super good. I love it after I go on a workout or something. It just makes me feel great to refresh with that smoothie. Like something like that is like UGC, right? And then they'll take that content creator's thing and they'll run their own paid ads against it because most paid ads ask for video now. So you need a lot of content creators authentically talking about this kind of stuff.
I put the minimum here.
And you sell your rights and you sell your likeness for that, right? So she's making $1,200 to $2,400 on these ads. That's actually a pretty low rate.
1 ad per week. However, I could
should
create
hire her.
up to 2 ads per week. So this could really go up to $400. My next biggest monthly retainer is $1,500.
But she's getting paid guaranteed monthly.
I am required to make 30 videos for the
That's
brand.
fucking insane. What? Bro, I'm gonna hire this person instantly. $1,500? So she's getting paid $50 a video? That is absolute dog shit. Jesus.
TikTok page.
Actual shoe factory.
So essentially I'm running a TikTok for them, but
you're running a shoe factory, lady.
Not social media management because I'm
stitching
not
the
really doing,
shoes.
like, community
Good
engagement
lord.
and all of that. I create create the video, I post the video. This brand specifically, the videos range from like, you know, more UGC style concepts to trends and memes. Finally for this month, I am getting paid $3,500 from one of the agencies that I am on.
Right, and you can like upsell creative strategy and coaching and shit too. So it's like 3,500 divided by 12. This is better. It's still dog shit. I've seen many, so like by reference, like most of the deals that we do are like, it's like 600 for 3 videos, 900 for 3 videos, like depends on the content creator. It doesn't matter about their following though, it just matters like what's their setup, how charismatic are they are. It doesn't, also it's not all hot girls either.
The retainer with,
It's a lot of like, actually a lot of them need men.
Create 12 videos
I have
for
a
them.
campaign I need men for right now. I need so many men.
They've also asked me to come on as like a creative strategist, so I'm doing content strategy for them as well as coaching not only some of the other UGC creators on their team, but also helping coach their actual team to work on their organic socials. So
I need single men.
that one's really exciting. And 2 of these monthly retainers I received via inbound, which means the brand or agency reach out to me to come on as a monthly retainer creator. Other monthly retainer,
I don't need hot men. Actually, I
brand,
prefer not hot men. I need human thumbs, actually. I need like 5 people that look like a thumb and are shaped like the blueberry chick from Willy Wonka. So like this chick has like 3,000 like views on this video, but she'll talk about how much she's making off UGC. You should buy a lotto ticket because I'm your guy. I'll talk. I might do a Discord announcement for it, where I'll pay like 5 or 10 people to make like a 30-second video authentically trying an app that I'm for one of my clients. I'll think about it. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but I might do it. Might do it.
I discovered Join Brands.
Yeah, immigrants are great. It's a social app.
October. I was super stoked because I see.
Selling your likeness feels sketchy in the age of AI. I'd want reoccurring royalties. Good luck, buddy. Let me know how that goes. Also, your likeness won't matter in the age of AI. Everyone's just going to make you anyway, whether you sell it or not.